What's up, Saya? It's been a good afternoon so far, and I'm so excited to see this best of 3 series between Signal Ultra Warriors and Happy Feet Emperors. Pero bago tayo magsimula, Saya, kamusta ka naman dyan? And how are you feeling going towards the series?
Again, as mentioned nga nung I am feeling a bit cold. Pero you know what? The fights that we will be witnessing right now is going to be intense. At mawawala nga yung aking sagot dito Kasi these fights are already mostly hunger. So for both of our teams, so who gets this is already day 8, halfway for our group stages dito, Omi. So na-excite ako sa mga laban na matutuhayan natin ngayon.
Yeah, and excited din ako makita kung paano ba matatapos tong series na to because again, best of 3 series and well, hindi naman sobrang dami pero the chance to have this turnaround, to have adjustments, those are the things that excite me the most in best of 3 series, seeing how teams are able to think of new strategies or rely on strategies that they made beforehand is something that I really love seeing. And having smart or at least very good teams here in the Nationals, knowing that they're in the Nationals for a reason, I'm just really excited nga to see kung paano gagawin ang mga strategies na yun.
But of course, let's see the match results na nangyari nga sa ating league kahapon. And of course, again, LPE is going to have that 2-0 against Bren Pro na they really dished out interesting picks like the Benedetta and the Khalid really escalating far off doon sa ating first series for yesterday. And of course, STIE Olympians is going to their streak will be broken by Smart Omega gaining that 2-0 score na talagang gusto nila na gumawa ng statement na sila talaga ang magta-top ng ating charts.
Yeah, and looking at this 2-0 by LPE against Bren Pro, I mean, this happened yesterday. It just goes to show that LPE Eagles are really one of those teams that you gotta look out for, and they're in the middle of our group stage standings right now, just a cut underneath Bren Pro. So this is very important for them. Their match later is going to be very crucial on their standings. If Bren Pro is able to secure at least a win in that series, then that means they will stay ahead of the Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, if they do win against Bren Pro, then that would at least put them up. And that it will definitely put them up in the third spot of our team standings.
Yes, and of course, para sa natitirang spots natin, Signal Ultra Warriors and the Happy Feet Emperors really have to fight their way here. And yun na nga, ang matutunghayan nating match for this day, the very first series for Signal Ultra Warriors versus Happy Feet Emperors. Makikita natin yung schedule right now, right here. And as mentioned, once more, both of these teams really in hunger for that points as much as possible, lalo na ang Happy Feet Emperors. And of course, for the second match of the day, we will be witnessing Bren Pro against LPE once again.
And aabangan natin yan mamayang hapon. Pero for now, it's Signal Ultra Warriors versus Happy Feet Emperors. And makikita natin on our screens right now yung mga pick rate ng ating favorite heroes in the Nationals. And top one, of course, in our pick rates would be the Ling. One of the best assassins in the game, could definitely carry a whole team if positioned well. And it's picked most of the time for a good reason. This Ling really does scale well in the late game and is the bane of almost every artillery mage or all squishy marksman inside the game if they do decide to pick a marksman.
Of course. And syempre the others as well really utilize, especially for the Toms right here as a offlaner. So napakakunat. And it's really no question kung bakit siya nga ang napipili dito. Alongside with the Forza as well, heavily utilized as a mage support, especially when fights are happening. Doon siya sa backlines with the Feathered Airstrike. As well as the Khalid, a very, very nice initiator here with his Raging Sandstorms. As well, yung lifesteal capability.
Yeah, and
nakita
looking at
natin
the
na
last
talagang
or maybe
nag-escalate
on the
yung
latter part
performance
of
ng
this
LPE
list,
And
we are
finally,
seeing a
to
Lancelot
finish it
as
is
well
the
and a
Lancelot.
Khalid.
Kung walang link sa ating mapipili, it's going to be the Lancelot to be prioritized as well for their assassin. Okay.
All right. And looking at the ban rates, though, we have Barats already banned 29 times in the tournament. And it just goes to show that Barats, one of those heroes that could definitely disrupt the backline through sheer tankiness and sheer utility of being able to just eat down mukbang ika nga on a lot of heroes na kumbaga yung tipo na akala mo mananalo ka na tapos biglang sobrang laking oras yung nabibili ng isang Barats, especially if played well.
Okay, so as well as the Brody right here who is going to be banned out na one of the recent heroes na nakikita natin sa league but was countered by once again LPE yesterday na there is no specific hero for to counter it for now, but the fact that you just have to do better than the Brody is something that you have to consider as well. So again, the Yuzhong, the Hilda, and the Jawhead is also going to be banned dahil Yuzhong here really has that mobility, especially in Dragon form, to really aid in the backlines and in fights as well. Etong Hilda at Joy, basically ito yung mga dakilang hindrance or annoyance para sa either sides of the team kapag napit dito, especially with their initiating capability.
Yeah, and speaking of initiating capabilities, one of my personal favorites, seeing a Yuzhong in my team, especially when I play solo, is something really comforting. Yung alam mong may papasok sa backline, alam mong may damage, may sustain. One of the heroes na gusto ko sabihin na may complete package as an offlaner. Talagang napakagandang pick if left open. So I'm really looking at this Yuzhong as someone na talagang pinipick pagka hindi nababan. And looking at how contested it is, yun talaga yung nangyayari. And a similar hero with that Yuzhong, yung merong sustain, merong escape, may backline capacity na pumasok sa likod, is the Khalid.
Mm-hmm. And kaya nga, both of these, if of course priority picks, syempre priority ban, and of course for both sides of the team, kung ano nga naman ang open, yun ang kukunin nila. And these are the respective heroes that are really contested. And of course, the Parrots, the Jawhead, once again, the Ling, the Brody, the Khalid, and the Yuzhong na nakita natin into our previous priority pick. So there's really no question because they are into the.
And speaking of the meta, these heroes really dictate on how teams play around their certain strategies. Certain heroes allow for certain strategies, such as a very aggressive early game or an early to mid game spike. You could always count on a Ling to be able to roam around effectively, try to find pickoffs and certain scenarios and where hindi makakasabay ang mga ibang hero dito sa Ling. Napakabilis na hero na yan, especially with that Finch Poise na talagang talon ka lang ng talon and magugulat ka na lang paminsan, nasa pwesto ka na for a kill.
Yes, but of course, this is going to be the roster for the Signal Ultra Warriors with Tsujin, Rhea, Imba DJ, Janister, and Ben Sanity na nakita natin na talagang nag-improve yung performances nila dito again. And right now, them really facing happy numbers for later, I think they have the higher edge on this.
And looking at the standings from earlier, pinag-usapan na natin sa ating pre-show that Signal Ultra Warriors really does that strategy na magpapapanalo talaga sa kanila on most occasions. So I'm really excited to see how Signal Ultra Warriors would show their gameplay in this best of 3. And sa predictions natin kanina, Saya, 2-0 ang binigay natin for Signal Ultra Warriors.
And which is, it's not going to discredit Happy Playmakers, it's just that really we are seeing a momentum in times for Signal Ultra Warriors na nabanggit nga natin na nakapanalo nga sila ng fight against their opposing teams. And of course, the contenders for them is going to be the Happy Emperors with Show, Kyle, Rain, JPZ, Reggie, and Aljon. Unfortunately, they are still looking for win, and they are really the crowd favorites. As mentioned natin kanina, no, they just have to scrap all the strategies na hindi nagustuhan for the past days that we already. They really dish out something
Yeah. And not only something new, but something that would allow them to have this certain edge, allow them to have that winning strategy that they could consistently go for. But of course, let's rest a little bit before we go in this best of three. Name is Omid. Kasama ko dito si Say at magbabalik kami after a quick break. Welcome back to the National Season 2. My name is Omid. Kasama ko dito si Daya at magiging... Actually, Daya, nandito ka na, hindi na si Seiya, and there has been some technical issues with Seiya. So, konting palitan lang muna. Nagbabalik tayo dito sa the National Season 2 Mobile Legends Bang Bang, and I'm excited to see this best of 3 series between Signal Ultra Warriors and Happy Feet Emperors. But Daya, since kakarating mo pa lang dito, nagulat ka ba sa biglaang event na to, or ready ka na ba?
I am ready, Freddy. So now we are back here at the Nationals. Now these two teams that are going to be presenting for us may not be teams I researched for. Pero, teka lang, it's going to be perfectly okay. And I am ready to get it on.
Man, sobrang ready mo na dyan sa... Actually, and may head-to-head nga ata tayo dito sa matchup natin between Signal Ultra Warriors and Happy Feet Emperors. Again, quick briefer for our viewers over here. Signal Ultra Warriors is on a hot streak right now. But for Happy Feet Emperors, they are yet to find a win in the Nationals. So it's very important for them to at least find that win today. And looking at the head-to-head, wala silang average win time, mainly because their win rate is 0%. Daya?
Now speaking that exactly. Now, a lot of people are big fans, huge fans of Happy Feet Emperors, and a lot of you right there in the comments, I've been reading it. And just give more love, more support. They need as much care, love, passion, compassion as they can get. Because Happy Feet Emperors, they're a team that cannot be knocked down yet. Kung matalo sila, mananalo sila soon, sometime in the future, and it could be against Signal Ultra Warriors. This could be their day.
And this could be their day if they're able to find that one thing that might work for them. That thing, I don't know yet. Baka may hinanda na sila. Baka may maipapakita sila sa kanilang mga loyal na supporters. Napaka-importante na pag may supporters ka, you give back to them. You show them that they are worth supporting, na you are worth supporting. And for Happy Feet Emperors, today is the day to prove that. Win against Signal Ultra Warriors, end their hot streak, snap your cold streak, and basically give your supporters a reason to stay.
Okay, so now we're going to be moving back here with the player comparison. We have Signal Ultra Warriors. They have the upper hand. 10 games played under Valier. Valier being one of the top tier meta picks right now for that mage, for that actual support with the damage coming in from the Vengeance Flame, of course, the combo. And it seems that Signal Ultra Warriors have seasoned players, more experience under the belt, more victories, just especially coming out of their win from Bren Pro. Undefeated, spotless, pristine were they before Signal Ultra Warriors knocked on their door. And now, with that win on their minds, under their belt, they are hoping to just pile drive over the remaining competition. Happy Feet is the first on their plate.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what they will do in the National Season 2, of course, in their first match this afternoon. And it's hard to analyze kung anong pwede nila ipakita because, again, this is a brand new day. This is the start of, actually, this day 8, actually, nasa baba pala, no? This is the start of day 8. Boy, ang daming oras para makapag-reset. Ang daming oras para makapag-aral kung ano ba pwedeng gawin na bago. But looks like we will be entering the pick and ban phase of the first match of this best of 3 series. Signal Ultra Warriors will be playing on the blue side. Meanwhile, Happy Feet Emperors will be playing on the red side. For their first ban, however, it's gonna be a Selena.
Ooh, now we gotta consider these things. So, first ban, first pick goes to Signal Ultra Warriors. This is quite strong indeed because they have the advantage that comes along with it, and they choose to ban out the Selena, the assassin, in for a blasting. As with her Abyssal Trap, Abyssal Arrow, she can catch out any hero and just delete them in an instant.
Yeah, Selena not only gives a lot of damage, but a lot of information as well throughout the map. Again, with the Abyssal Arrows and Abyssal Traps that could be scattered all around the map. It's really hard to play against a good Selena player, but looks like the first ban for Happy Feet Emperors just came in. It's going to be a Thamus, one of those heroes that could sustain really well in heated fights.
Your team is bound.
Now, against yung Thamus, they choose to ban out the Yuzhong, fighter for a fighter, blood for blood, and Yuzhong could have been the perfect counterpick against what could have been, what would have been. But we don't speak about could-haves, would-haves, and should-haves. We speak about what can happen right now. With these bans, it just leaves a lot of room up for both of these teams. It leaves out the Brody, and I was about to say the Brody was just banned out. Who owe me?
Yeah, Brody looks to be the second ban for Happy Feet Emperors, which means we won't be seeing a long-range marksman that could definitely pop up a lot of characters or heroes around the game, especially by mid or late game. But looks like the third ban for Signal Ultra Warriors will be the Jawhead. No aggressive intakes for those turret dives early on, so I'm really happy to see Jawhead ban. I dislike having a Jawhead against enemy teams, especially when I'm playing mages, because one of the things that the Jawhead could deliver is not just damage, but you as well, especially pag nalapitan ka at ma-eject ka pabalik sa team niya.
Just throwing it out there. The Jawhead's throws would have been an amazing source of gank potential. It could have been a play. It could have been the playmaker of sorts. And it just seems that this would be the bans that would just round everything out, and Signal Ultra Warriors, I think they're going to be going in for a Benedetta.
Yeah, it looks like Benedetta was open for Signal Ultra Warriors to take, and that immediately signals them to take it in. But for Happy Feet Emperors, it's alright to give away the Benedetta if they are able to secure a Barrats. Again, talked about Barrats early on. Barrats, one of those heroes that's really annoying to deal with. Not necessarily one of the best. Well, you can still say that's one of the best heroes right now. But it's the more... nasa spectrum siya ng annoying kesa malakas. The thing about Barrats is he just buys so much time, and while he buys time, he also deals damage and absorbs damage. That's all the things that you could ask for out from a Barrats.
Now it seems that we talked about the Barrats earlier, and comboing that in with the Lunox for that magic damage potential. We see that Happy Feet Emperors, their lineup could very well be smart, very wise on their part. And on the side of Signal Ultra Warriors, it was these picks, the very same picks that managed to get over the perfect win streak of Bren E-Pro. So now we're seeing that Imba DJ, Rhea, and there we see the same lineup, even Janus farther down the line. And they're choosing to lock in the Khalid as well as the Valir. Maybe there may not be a marksman because this is a meta with no emphasis on marksman thus far.
Yeah, I have to agree with you over there. This is not the era for marksmen. It's usually assassins reigning on this meta. If not assassins, usually artillery mages such as the Farsa, which is banned right now in this game. But going towards this Valir pick, tsaka itong Khalid pick, this is already a good setup for them. They have the CC, they have the damage, they have the sustainability, and not to mention they also have the safety coming in from the Vengeance Flame of the Valir. And when I say safety with the Vengeance Flame, it's not just safety. It's also capacity to damage several targets, misposition a lot of heroes as well with that Searing Torrent. So I'm really excited on how they're gonna play this Valir overall.
Your team is bound.
Woohoo! So, returning back from that point, we see that they have one more band left in both of their arsenals. We have the Ling on the lineup of Happy Feet Emperors. This is gonna be one very tap-tappity Ling as he moves from point to point to point. It is that mobility, it is just that instant damage potential that the Ling possesses that is just makes him one of the best. It's, again, you've seen that from the stats presented earlier, that the Ling is one of the most picked heroes, and he is here to stay.
Yep, and hindi lang yun. Kung hindi siya nababan, immediately napipick siya, and that's what happened in the draft right now as well. But looks like we are entering the final banning phase of the first match of this best of 3. The Natalia will be the last ban for Happy Feet Emperors, which means no invisibility early on and no early invades. We all know that Natalia is notorious for those early invades na literal level 1 pa lang, level 2 pa lang, talagang kakatayin ka na sa sarili mong jungle area, and you do not want that if you're playing a farm heavy or a farm reliant character such as the Ling, especially early on in this game.
So now that the bans have been rounded out, we got it presented to you right now. The Selena, Yuzhong, Jawhead, Hilda, and the Esmeralda. While on the side of Happy Feet Emperors, we got the Natalia, Uranus, Farsa, Brody, and the Thaums. With all that in mind, it still leaves a lot of open positions, and presenting to you right there, it is Firaga Armor himself, the X-Borg, coming into you from the side of Happy Feet Emperors.
Yep, and I'm glad to see that they do use this X-Borg because it fits really well with what they want for Happy Feet Emperors right now. You have the Lunox, you have the Barats, and the Ling. That already gives away a lot of your strategy. You want to dive in. You want to be able to pull aggressive maneuvers in the lane, especially early to mid-game. And having that X-Borg that could definitely pull off aggressive plays or minsan double-edged plays, depende kung paano mo gagamitin yung last insanity mo. It's going to be a very, let's say, 50-50 type of scenario for most of the time para sa Happy Feet Emperors.
Your team is picking.
And just like that double-edged sword, we have the double-faced god himself, Janus, again with that Lancelot that you may have seen in the past. Just Janus. We have seen a lot of Lancelots come into the 15 minutes of fame, come into the spotlight, come into the hearts of many, into the minds of many, into the memories of many. And we're seeing Janus again with that Lancelot paired up with Ben Sanity's Kufra, a tank to watch, a repeat defeat hero. And will they counteract it with a conditional hero, a chance-based hero? Because seeing it here, JPZ locking in that Akai. It is going to be a gamble of sorts indeed. And yes, it is in the Panda Man.
Looks like Akai will be the last pick for Happy Feet Emperors, and this rounds up the draft for both teams over here. On the Signal Ultra Warriors side, they do have that capacity to set up with the Raging Sandstorm and of course Kufra's overall kit. A lot of CC for the Signal Ultra Warriors. They could definitely pull the trigger anytime that they want a skirmish or a team fight. But for Happy Feet Emperors, what's going on for them?
And with the timer almost going to be running down. Okay, so for Happy Feet Emperors, they have a lot on their mind right now. I mean, if I would be a team with no wins as of yet, I would be researching. So they have, under an amazing coach, I would be researching on how they can meet out or at least gain the winning strategy this time against Signal Ultra Warriors. So will this be their day? Will this be their time? That time, maybe now.
Yeah, I'm excited to enter the Land of Dawn for this first match of this best of 3 series between Signal Ultra Warriors and Happy Feet Emperors. We've already seen the heroes na gagamitin nila dito, and napaka-importante na isipin kung ano bang pwedeng mangyari for both sides over here. And I just have to say, the Signal Ultra Warriors, they really do have that certain capacity to pull the trigger anytime that they want. That Kufra allows them to start fights. And that Raging Sandstorm coming in from the Khalid, it allows them to have a significant follow-up after that Kufra, because this is something that I see most of the time. Pag may nagda-draft ng Kufra, kailangan may follow-up damage palagi.
And of course, that follow-up damage will come in the form of the rest of their damage leaders, their hyper carries, their core members. They're, of course, going to be making a change,
Seconds
a
till the enemy
difference.
reaches the battlefield. Smash them.
Yeah, and this tournament is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusement Board. Again, this is game 1 of this best of 3 series between Signal Ultra Warriors, and looks like a lot is happening already around the map between both teams.
Okay, we got the top, mid, and the bottom for you in full perfect display. It's going to be presented in out like a buffet, so better gorge it in, better count them out. But of course, we are going to be reaching a pause of sorts due to aforementioned issues, but now just seeing them, the moment that the fights were about to happen, I was stoked. I was getting into the flame. I was trying to get into the mindset of Happy Feet Emperors because my mind, my heart, my soul is with Happy Feet Emperors, seeing these underdogs. I can call them the underdogs, or under Penguins perhaps, trying to beat out Signal Ultra Warriors, who have already made a name for themselves by defeating Brand Epro just days past.
And for Happy Feet Emperors, it's really the underdog story for them right now. A lot of fans backing them in this match, and a lot of pressure as well surrounding them. They need to find that win. They need to put at least one on the scorecard for them tonight. And looks like we are finally entering the land of dawn. We are 1 minute in between Signal Ultra Warriors and Happy Feet Emperors, and looks like there won't be any very aggressive moves so far. But in the top side though, grabe ang lalim na agad pala ni Khalid at nagka-first blood pa nga off-cam.
Just that first blood coming in, and it was Signal Ultra Warriors there, no less. So there was just put in right there, and it seems that Happy Feet Emperors, they now have the mindset, they now have the potential to snowball, but it all starts with the first step, a journey of 1,000 miles, and their 1,000 miles start here. Can they catch up while the remaining leg of this tournament continues?
And looks like both teams are opting for a safer road after that first mishap for the side of Signal Ultra Warriors and the top side. You don't want to give out an early first blood, especially in a game like this. So I feel like that was a big misstep for Signal Ultra Warriors, giving that one kill away in the top side.
And of course, now we're going to be looking back at Happy Feet Emperors. They are doing their best, trying to get out that economy, that important EXP, that important gold in the mid lane. They're already showing their faces. Sho, Reggie, and JPZ, as well as Chi-Chi. Are they going to be making a potential gank against there? He is by his lonesome. Will they steal it out? Yes, they choose to starve him out.
Yeah, and this is a very good strategy coming in from the Happy Feet Emperors, but a 3v1 here in the bottom side, and this just might be a kill for the Signal Ultra Warriors. Alright,
and now with Chi-Chi and Sho, just continuing from where we left off, let's move on to page 2. Sho, Chi-Chi, and JPZ, we're just choking them out of that jungle and gold buff.
And looks like in the bottom side, another fight continues. But medyo dadamagean lang pala ang turret dito, at nahanap na nga dito si Reggie in a 2v1 scenario, flickers out and dashes out with that Akai.
Just seeing all of their plays, Chi-Chi, this is the time for Happy Feet Emperors, mga kadaya. This is the time that they can take the ropes, take everything by the reins. But it seems that Lancelot from Janus, the two-faced god, is going to be showing them why he is the Lord of Map Control, because that is one of the important key points of the strategy that we are going to be seeing. Will we see more from Janus? Will he snowball into what could be the game ender?
Yeah, and for now, the 1-1 ang kill score natin, but there's already a significant gold lead for the side of Signal Ultra Warriors. We are clocking it at an almost 2k gold lead early on in this kill score. Just goes to show that Signal Ultra Warriors has been farming more effectively and finding more opportunities around the map. Mahahabol naman to ng Happy Feet Emperors ng paunti-unti, pero looks like in the mid lane, we have 4 people from the side of Signal Ultra Warriors and Happy Feet Emperors.
So Happy Feet Emperor still united, still strong. Up in the Arctic regions of the north, they are going to be making their wall, their stand. But it seems like Janus, did he steal the purple buff? Yes, indeed he did. And now followed up by the stun with Rhea and there. It seems that Tetanus Welcome was already utilized, but not quite effectively. Still, the Penguins remain. Still, they were untested, undefeated, and Ben Sanity was the one who took the fall.
Yeah. 2-1 ang kill score natin. 5 minutes in. Dahil 4:45, medyo nabulol ako doon. But yeah, still just a 1k gold lead for the Signal Ultra Warriors. A lot of this depends on how they farm on. And kills, they do happen so far. But looks like in the top side, a 2v1 Daya. Let's see if kung anong mangyayari dito.
Now, it is just, I am ecstatic. The fans are ecstatic. Mga supporter ng Happy Feet Emperors, you must be happy, you must be elated, you must be ecstatic as well. Because it seems that this team, they have a chance. But now Chichi, and there, Chichi forced to use Tempest Blades as a defensive maneuver. What will they do next?
I'm not quite sure for now because this early game is fairly tightly contested between both teams, except Signal Ultra Warriors has been consistently getting those turtles for them. And not only that, it's always the Lancelot securing that turtle. Napaka-importante na binibigay mo sa core mo yung mga buff na kailangan niya para makapag-snowball siya by mid-game.
And we're seeing it now. That ball is getting bigger and bigger. We shall see. 5 minutes in. Remember that most of these games normally last 15 to 16 to 18 minutes even. And this means that we are already 1/3 of the game through. There, Janus and the rest of Signal Ultra Warriors, they don't know. They don't have an answer to the question posed by Happy Feet Emperors. But the funny thing remains, Signal Ultra Warriors still has a conceivable gold lead over Happy Feet Emperors.
Yeah. And things are fairly quiet right now. Napakatahimik ng laro na to. We are 6 minutes in and wala pa nagka-clock in tayo ng less than a kill per minute. And this just goes to show that both teams really are feeling each other in this scenario. Tinitignan nila kung kaya ba nilang mag-all-in or natatapatan yung mga strategies nila early on. They're trying to find mistakes and capitalize on them. They're not entirely forcing mistakes out of the other, but for Signal Ultra Warriors, sinasakal na nila paunti-unti ang Happy Feet Emperors by just securing a lot of turrets, a lot of objectives around the map. A fight here, Diane.
Oh, right now it seems that Last Insanity not used, but Tyrant's Revenge in for the stun. It seems like the Villiers following it up with the Steering Torrent. The Vengeance Flame has already been activated. Tempest Blades from Janus as well. But QC was activating what he needed to do from the Finch Voice to just get those precious iframes. And it seems that Happy Feet Emperors may have survived that, but not to the extent that they wanted. 2 down, and Janus is not done yet. The song is still playing, the beat is still boxing, but I think they will end that song and dance there.
And 2 turrets already down for the side of Happy Feet Emperors, and that just means the Signal Ultra Warriors already have superior map control. And wala pa nga sa kanilang lane dito. The lane allows for more control through the hero just gliding around the map. But if you can't translate that into kills, if you can't translate that into turrets, then that won't mean a lot. And the third turtle again goes to Signal Ultra Warriors, and Shaw, he's looking to be dove over here.
Ooh, just forced to activate that Firaga armor for the escape. Now, Happy Feet Emperors, if you're not noticing, are being backed into a corner. Now, even though Tom and Jerry C, and Tom is just pushing them further back into the mouse hole. And this is unknowingly because maybe they're giving Happy Feet Emperors a false sense of security. And that is the winning strategy by many of these teams at this level of gameplay. The false sense of security that we're seeing could lead to the demise of Happy Feet Emperors if they don't change it out, if they don't get dominance over that map control.
And speaking of map control, malapit na rin bumagsak ang turret dito sa top side para sa Happy Feet Emperors, and having superior control over that area, that means the second lord na doon magsuspawn would give them the opportunity for an early close out if ever, because the lord right now, 1 minute from now, nakikita natin na nasa bot side area siya, and that means Signal Ultra Warriors, if they are able to get this turret in the mid lane, it will allow them to have even more control over this area. And it's very important for them to do so. That's why we have a lot of members invested from Signal Ultra Warriors in this mid lane.
See, Happy Feet Emperors, all that they can do is just sit back, relax, but not really, because relaxing is not part of their vocabulary, not part of their dictionary. This ain't a vacation, this ain't a trip to Palawan, because right now we're seeing it here. The Nationals, they want their first win. They need their first win because that round robin is going to be ending its close. That round robin is going to be moving on to the next phase where all of these teams will be competing for the chance of the playoffs, but only a few can remain. Happy Feet Emperors wants to be part of that few, as well as Signal Ultra Warriors.
Yeah, and Lord already spawned here, and looks like Signal Ultra Warriors are eyeing that objective. It's very important for them to get that, but looks like Happy Feet Emperors will be trying to cancel out that call by just purely investing a lot of members in this mid lane. Pag napamigay tong Lord na to sa Signal Ultra Warriors, mahihirapan sila mag-defend considering na napakabutas na ng top side and bot lane nila.
Ooh. And Signal Ultra Warriors just possessing, just owning. The Sabbath day is theirs, and theirs is the Lord. Happy Feet Emperors, it seems that they are at a shock. You are shocked at what to do. And this team, again, just can only watch. They're not possessing any dominating lanes, mid, bottom, and top. It seems that they lack the strategy. They don't even have the initiation compatibility, and Chi-Chi is not doing the roaming potential that a Link can achieve at this stage of the game.
And this just goes to show that Signal Ultra Warriors has superior macro game against Happy Feet Emperors. Their macro game, their rotations, their shot calls is on point. It's not necessarily getting kills. Kills bonus na lang yon. They're going for turrets. They're going for objectives. They're going for pressure in the right area, in the right time. And that's how you know that Signal Ultra Warriors doesn't just know the game by knowing when to go for fights. They know the game by knowing where to go at a certain time.
See, we have seen games turn around. We have seen teams, much like the beginning of the Eagles, we have seen teams that dominate the early game, just like what Happy Feet Emperor did, but then just lose it all. They got the bag like happy little children, but they can't take it in. But now stunned are they against the might, against Imba DJ, Ben Sanity, and Rhea. But all that they can do is just wait in potential. But Ling managing to score the kill on that Lancelot. It could be the opening that they need. Binuksan na ang pintuan, and will they just barge in? Unaccounted for, just like Jose Rizal at any party you will in Spain. It seems that Chi-Chi and the rest found their opening. 3-3, not a lot of deaths, not a lot of kills happening, but we are still hoping, Happy Feet is still hoping for more openings.
Oh no. Tempest of Blades used here to avoid some more damage, but looks like the fight will continue in this, and the Kufra will be the one falling down instead. Another throwaway coming in from Signal Ultra Warriors. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa'yo kanina pa, Daya. Signal Ultra Warriors, they have superior macro game. But for Happy Feet Emperors, the moment they strike a fight na alam nilang mapapanalo nila, they just go for the kill and they leave after that.
It's the mindset. It's just the way, it is that timing, it is that reflex honed only by years and years of experience. Mobile is now on towards its 5th and 6th year. We see teams come in and out, but these boys are here to stay. Happy Feet Emperors have built up a name for themselves from prestige, honor, and talent, and none are more talented than these boys right here. We just need more. We need more coming in from the side of Chichi, more coming in from the side, but it seems that they are giving us more because now Last Insanity already activated, and also Janos, the two-faced god, again falling in. Ben Sanity trying to go in with the bouncing ball, but Reggie and the rest, they already have that in the bag. Hurricane Dance not yet activated, but the Blender, the 1000 Powder Infinite Stun is going to be making much of a difference, and it seems that Lunox, Order, and Chaos, ang chaotic na ang Land of the Dawn right here, right now at the Nationals. But it seems that 2 for 3, the score might make much of a push, but at the same time, Signal Ultra Warriors keeping their bearings, keeping their candy in their bag, keeping their mind straight, manages to hold their map control.
Yeah, macro game Signal Ultra Warriors have been doing the right thing for the early game, but right now, Happy Feet Emperors, after taking a lot of great kills, a lot of shutdown kills for the side of Signal Ultra Warriors, they finally have a Ling that could be a threat in an actual skirmish, and the Lancelot has not been doing well. I just have to say, Janus has not been entering well, and hindi niya nagagamit yung Thorn Throws niya and Phantom Execution to avoid and deal damage. It's always just been dealing damage for him, and if you can't avoid damage and just die straight out, the Ling will definitely outmaneuver you in a fight.
It has always been the war of the pretty boys, mga lalaki dito sa Land of the Dawn, but it doesn't matter about looks. It's not a question of looks, it's a question of skill. And now Janos, or at least the Lancelot, has been left to the wayside in the earlier years, the previous years of the Mobile Legends circuit, of Mobile Legends Pro tournaments, seeing the rise and the dominance of the Ling. But now Lancelot is here to stay, and Lancelot versus Ling has always been the best, the top decade anime fight of the century, as we have put it time and time again throughout this season. We are already at day 8. The song has always been the same.
Yes, and 15 minutes in, this game is still anyone's game to take. One team fight could change that, and we are seeing a lot of members invested here in the mid lane. For the side of Signal Ultra Warriors, I feel like the proper call would be to try and get that inhibitor turret in the top side. If they do crush that turret early on, that will give them more room to operate, and they are desperately in a situation that requires them more space.
Now is another opportune time. There's a window of opportunity, and it seems like this team, both teams are going to be taking it right here. Tempest Blades already used up. Swords of Revealing Storm, as said by the casters of old, but it seems that it didn't really hit anybody. So now it's a reversal coming in from Signal Ultra Warriors as they dance the special dance, cha-cha, the sideways tango, what have you, against Happy Feet Emperors. And Happy Feet Emperors are just gonna be on their lone polar glacier, wondering as JPC took the hit, while Signal Ultra Warriors manages to get that advantage. But both teams, knowing how good, knowing how well both teams play, both teams are respecting each other by just choosing to reset the Lord. What will Signal Ultra Warriors do? Will they push in?
Well,
will
we
they
have 5
contest?
seconds
Or will... Yeah.
Yeah, we have 5 seconds on Lunox over here, still alive, but looks like the Lord will be going down to who just yet. We still have that Lord going down through the barracks, and that means Happy Feet Emperors will be able to secure it, but looks like the Ling, that's a shutdown on the Valir, and this is looking great for Signal Ultra Warriors so far. The Lord may go for the Happy Feet Emperors, but looks like Signal Ultra Warriors will get the kills instead.
You have scored the Lord, but at what cost? What payment must be made? It's too great of a payment. And now Happy Feet Emperors may be realizing that, but still the advantage goes to them, because now it is not only a Lord, it is El Luminoso, it is the Luminous Lord. And Signal Ultra Warriors, all that they can do is try and get another opportune time, get another kill from this, because Time's Revenge was already activated and the knockup as well. And we see that the Thorn goes followed by the Phantom Execution into those puncture, just deletes them one after another. Vengeance Flame! activated by the man on fire. No human torches. He is Valir. And the red team now in for the revenge of their own, because it seems like Chi-Chi now entering the fray. Show, after that Tempest of Blades, it seems that there is a lone but still going strong, staying alive on ad infinitum. And it seems that both teams will be backing away. That clash was and is now ended, but maybe not, as show once more of that blood.
Look at the sustain coming in from Quicksand Guard. That does not fail to entertain me. Every time I see a Khalid just sustain a lot of HP within a fight just because of pressing one ability and walang CC to cancel it out, it just gives a smile on my face. It just goes to show how Khalid is just strong not just strong. He has the complete package. Meron siyang whole shabang. Meron siyang heal. Meron siyang gap closer. May stun siya. And the damage, the AoE damage, he just has it all, you know?
The man of the sands, Khalid, of course, just surviving again, that is there. And we see that Happy Feet Emperors at 8-9 with again their gold lead still not on their side. Happy Feet Emperors strongly and firmly believes that they can win this game, but Signal Ultra Warriors has an Uno reversal just to prove them wrong, has the counter to each of their plays, and the longer that this game continues, it could just be in the favor of Signal Ultra Warriors, because both teams, they already have hit their ceiling thus far. Because we're almost into the 20-minute game. It is quite a long game, but this game is not over yet.
And nandito pa lang tayo sa first game of this best of 3 series at sobrang dikit na ng laro natin. Just a 1.5k gold lead for the side of Signal Ultra Warriors, but they do have actually no balance na rin ang turrets natin dito. Kanina lamang sila sa turrets, but now both teams are just really looking on finding opportunities just like this one, and looks like Aljon is just too tanky to deal with.
With that just occurring right before your blessed wicked minds, we can only assume that Signal Ultra Warriors is having much of a hard time as Happy Feet Emperors. Now, seeing time and time again, Happy Feet Emperors fail to hit those marks. We've seen Happy Feet Emperors go on 20-minute long matches, 26-minute long matches against other teams, nearly securing that win, but failing to do so. So now the question remains, the ask to the answer to the ask. What can this team do? What can this team do against the opponent? What can the opponent do against us? How can we outplay them? Is it because with the Lord gone, it is up to economy, it is up to EXP, and now with the Lord here, it is up to who can get that objective.
Yeah, the Lord is super important right now. Whoever gets that Lord might be able to secure a significant amount of lead. Especially if makuha ng Signal Ultra Warriors, so it will definitely go towards the top side. Looking at the health of the turret over there, that means they could get more areas of control over the top side jungle of Happy Feet Emperors. But if Happy Feet Emperors is able to steal away this Lord once again, then that just means that they gain control of either mid or bottom side. But looks like the fight will start here, Daya.
Okay, now it seems that was a blender followed by a 1,000-pounder, but not stunning anyone successfully. But still, with the Hurricane Dance, he managed to catch out the rest of Signal Ultra Warriors. But Tempest Blade has already been activated for the rest of that damage. After that, suppressed is Janos, but it seems to be escaping after that puncture. It seems that that was a successful initiation after that dance of the big Panda Man. But Panda Man himself couldn't end the game. Panda Man himself, as well as the damage coming in from Chi-Chi, wasn't enough, and instead they gave out JPZ. JPZ is now on 6 feet under, waiting for her time once again.
And so far for both teams over here, they're really not giving any opportunities for each other here unless Reggie here would be caught off guard. It looks like Sho will be tanking a lot of damage with his Paraga armor here. looks
Okay.
like
Now we see that they managed to do the push, the almighty push, but they need not be in Konoha for this because it seems that Happy Emperors got what they came for. That is just the presence, the dominance of the Lord. It is mine. They are telling them right in their face, no, it's my Lord. Get back off. But there has an objection to state in this court of law. It'll be up to who managed to get the Lord, and the Lord was just stolen by Janus with 2 eyes in front, 2 eyes in the back. It seems that Signal Ultra Warriors may be getting the push of the century because now the century is theirs. The fallout is coming, the reckoning as well. Will Signal Ultra Warriors do the push that could end this game?
Man, Signal Ultra Warriors does steal the Lord away from Happy Feet Emperors, but Happy Feet Emperors, they have the response of their own, but the fight continues here in the mid lane. 3v2, as you say. Rhea might be getting a kill on the Barrett as the Barrett falls down. It looks like in the mid lane, Shaw is the next target here, but he's a little bit too tanky to deal with. As Tempest of Blades is called upon. The Kyle lead goes down, and he just dashes away with the pinch boys. And this is Signal Ultra Warriors mounting a comeback. The Vengeance Flame, the Steering Torrent, forcing the ult away from this Lunox, and looks like the push will be halted in the top side as they are forced to defend instead.
Ooh, that was a check. In all Gambit of Gambits, you can do the Queen's Gambit, you can do any Gambit that you might need to do, but that Gambit was very important, very crucial, and quite well played, if I may do say so myself, by Happy Feet Emperors, because it seems that they knew what was coming. It could have been the end. 25 minutes is the game, but there is no final countdown on each side. They have more than 20 turns on each side. It is not a question if they both, because both teams, they have their composition, they have their lineup, they know their strengths. They may not be utilizing it to the best of their ability because they could have stolen this game way earlier if they did. But so far, so good. Calculating decisions on the fly leading up to this point. Both teams doing their A game until now.
A game indeed. A lot of these players are really putting the best of their gameplay out here in the first game. Again, this is the best of 3 series ko. Kahit matalo dito yung favorite team mo, may chance pang bumawi for the next few games. And looks like the Ling split pushing all day long. Kasalanan niya kung bakit wala ng mid lane inhibitor turret, at kasalanan din niya kung bakit nakakalbo yung top side ng Signal Ultra Warriors. So, yung pinag-uusapan nating map control kanina, ginagamit na nito ni Chichi. He's able to just go around the map and secure objectives for Happy Feet Emperors.
Chi-Chi is doing, admittedly, a better job for now in this game than Janus. Janus with a 3-3-4 on his KDA ratio as well, but Chi-Chi with a 4-1-5. Now, we're gonna give you the 4-1-5, and the 4-1-5 is that Happy Feet Emperors, this may not be the same boys that you know. Happy Feet Emperors have grown up, have leveled up. It is now part 2. It is now Happy Feet 2. And the movie, just like fine wine, gets better. But fine wine has its point where it goes stale. So which team has already grown stale? But now it seems that Happy Feet Emperors have that lead against Signal Ultra Warriors, and they are maintaining that. Look at them just showing up on the doorstep. They are no Girl Scouts with them cookies. They are in for a mission, but no need to hear the word of the Lord because they are going to be giving to you as soon as that Lord does spawn.
Yeah, 20 seconds from now, lalabas na ang Lord in as... correct me if I'm wrong, pero pangatlong Lord na to of the game. The first Lord going to actually fourth Lord of the game. And Happy Feet Emperor secured most of the Lords with Signal Ultra Warriors stealing away the latest Lord. So let's see kung sino makakapag-secure ng ating fourth Lord of the game. Very close game pa rin to. Kahit may nakikita tayong 3k gold lead na nanggagaling sa Signal Ultra Warriors, hindi ibig sabihin nun ay lamang na sila. Happy Feet Emperors, kung titignan nyo ang mga inventory slots ng lahat ng mga hero natin dito sa game, almost completed na ang mga items nila. At alam mo naman na ibig sabihin nun, you know what it is, talagang salpukan ang mangyayari dito for the Lord.
It's gonna be a back and it's gonna be a rakan, and it might be now, but that time may not happen yet. They are still checking, face checking, just basically giving vision to each other, signaling one another, because it is that risk. It is that risk presented in by Happy Feet Emperors, just their presence, just the way that they have been playing. If Signal Ultra Warriors have been watching each other team play, they may be surprised themselves. Nagulat sila na, oh my god, this is Happy Feet Emperors at their best, and now the best is being just shoved down. The rest is about to happen, as it seems that Signal Ultra Warriors is caught in the middle of the team fight, and Janus was about to go in for those punctures, those phantom executions, but it seems that we are going to be back to our faces, back in with me, Daya, and Uomi. Uomi, what has been happening thus far, and who do you think will emerge the victor?
Well, clearly on that fight, for this game, hindi mo na ako magsasabi kung sino ba yung mananalo. But for that fight, nakita natin na nahuli yung Valir. Nahuli yung Valir in that bush and he got immediately chunked. The Vengeance Flame bought him a few seconds. It allowed him to at least go for the Searing Torrent and a few of his fireballs. But after that, he was forced to use his Winter Truncheon. And after Winter Truncheon, he wasn't able to do anything else. So one thing though, Signal Ultra Warriors, they already lost that fight. They got their mage out, and they basically lost a man already. But before we entered that boss, we saw a beautiful Thorned Rose and Phantom Execution coming in from Signal Ultra Warriors score, and we have to respect that. This is why it's still 50-50. The damage coming in from that Lancelot really is a deal breaker for Signal Ultra Warriors, and I'm excited to see on how that fight will pan out, because as for now, it's still 50-50. That fight was saved by the Lancelot for the side of Signal Ultra Warriors.
Now, we didn't see the conclusion of that team fight, but it seems that the Lancelot was best to just space them out, zone them out, kite them out, and just remain on top of the scenario. We saw that, you talked about it, that there's the Thorned Rose into the Phantom Execution. Again, the iframes. If this was a fighting game, these iframes are very important, providing seconds of invulnerability, and these seconds can just be that source of damage. And it seems now we are back into the game, and the conclusion of the team fight we may never know, but let's continue. Onward is this match.
And looks like the fight for the Lord will continue over here. The shutdown, the monster kill for the Benedetta, but looks like the Lancelot will go down to the Ling. And this is actually very important kills for both sides. The core for both sides, or maybe at least one of the cores, are down. Janus and Imba DJ are out for the side of Signal Ultra Warriors. And for Happy Feet Emperors, 2 people are out as well. They do have Chi-Chi on their side. They might be able to take more objectives around the map. But overall, this game has been super close, to the point na kahit mamatay yung dalawa, kahit mamatay yung tatlo, you don't want to force objectives that you cannot cleanly take.
We saw that. An example was Rhea. Rhea just scoring 2 clean kills, but still, Signal Ultra Warriors, with their towers demolished, all they can hope to do is just push out the minion wave. Now, possessing the minion wave on your side is very, very important, because this decides what will be the protecting force, the guardians of your team, your heroes, as they enter the vicinity of the towers. Now, once these towers are going to be in the vicinity, it is just going to be knocking them down, peg by peg, point by point. But can they achieve that though? Signal Ultra Warriors manages to push out the lane, but Happy Feet Emperors still owns mid and bottom.
Yeah, and Lord, wala pa rin nakakakuha. Ang tagal na nakatambay. Kumbaga, ito yung nag-aantay na lang kung sino bang makakapag-secure ng Lord. This game definitely depends kung sinong makakakuha ng team fight win around the Lord. And not necessarily kung sinong makakakuha ng Lord, but kung sinong mananalo in that team fight win for the Lord. Dahil napakatagal na ng mga death timers natin dito. If whoever loses the team fight, they're gonna sit for 50 seconds inside their base watching timers while the enemy team just goes in for the kill.
So, Signal Ultra Warriors around the bush. This is gonna be Ring Around the Rosie. What game are we gonna be seeing here? It is gonna be decided in a few precious seconds, and every second counts in a 30-minute game. One of the longest that this series has seen since its incarnation. We are now at Season 2, mga kadaya, and it can't get any better than this. Signal Ultra Warriors, Happy Feet, Emperors, they may be at the bottom 2 on the scoreboard, on that win list, but now they are at the top of everyone's mind, mga viewers, mga nanonood. All of you watching here, you can safely say that these two teams have skill, but these two skilled teams are now on equal playing fields, on the same pedestals, on the same plateau. But one of these plateaus has to fall into the valley of defeat. Will it be Signal Ultra Warriors or will it be Happy Feet Emperors? We will know.
Key buys here coming in from Shaw and Janus, both of them getting the immortality just now, which means the next fight they will have some sort of security around their lives. They could pull off aggressive moves and have the opportunity to live to tell another day. It looks like Chi-Chi. Looks like the Kufra will find Chi-Chi pero hindi niya itutuloy. The Lord will be the next objective to take. Another big buy coming in from the Signal Ultra Warriors. BOD dito kay Bear, and that means Bear will be dealing a lot of damage with this Khalid and still surviving in the back line. But looks like he will be opting to split push instead, forcing the X-Borg away from this Lord.
See, I just realized that most of the team fights that have been happening thus far, most of these points have been around the Lord, been around the Luminous Lord, been around the Sanctuary Lord, and now that we reach the point that that Lord can't go no bigger, no more, we see that both of these teams really can't find the answer. If they've taken so many modules in the past, if nag-module ba sila, trying to aim for a certain GPA, a certain score, they still can't find the light at the end of the tunnel. Kumbaga, it seems that both teams, again, they're scared. But that fear is what's driving them. That fear is what's keeping them from making mistakes. And the lack of mistakes is what's keeping them both from losing to one another.
Yeah, and grabe, napakatagal na ng laro na to. 33 minutes in, 13 to 12 ang kill score natin. Nasa 100k na ang gold ng both teams here. May 8k gold lead ng Signal Ultra Warriors. But that doesn't mean a lot considering na puno na ang mga item slot nila. 2v1 here for Aljon. Might be dangerous for the side of Happy Feet Emperors. If this continues, Daya, a team fight will happen here.
Oh, knocked up is Aljon! Aljon! Nasaan po? Will be going in for the flicker, but does Deconus welcome? But is his meal going to be interrupted? It is interrupted. Reggie in for the Hurricane Dance. Raging Sandstorm coming in from the Khalid, but that Raging Sandstorm manages to not stun a lot of heroes. But it seems that JPZ, Reggie, and Shaw, they are low on their life bars, and Janus is still going in, trying to go in more like, but they decide that enough is enough. They got what they came for. Show trying to go in. Show trying to stop them. Show trying to end the life of Rhea. But Chi-Chi as well. Chi-Chi now in. Chi-Chi, the saving grace. The hero at the final second. Will his hero's entrance be welcome? We don't know, but Janus is going to be taking that hit. But Immortality was taken away by JPZ from that Order and Chaos into the shotgun ng darkness. And JPZ, Chi-Chi, Reggie, they turned the tables around. They tabled that turn around.
Yeah, and again, this game is still anybody's game to take. Walang clear winner sa team fight na yon for the Lord. And as I said earlier, whoever wins the team fight, kumbaga may clear winner yung team fight around that Lord area, they don't even have to take the Lord anymore. They can just go in for the base, immediately end the game. But looks like Bensanity naghahanap dito ng opportunity. The Lord is already started by the side of Happy Feet Emperors. This might be dangerous for them, but for Signal Ultra Warriors, wala silang Lancelot, wala silang core, and this is what Happy Feet Emperors want. Walang Lancelot in this Lord fight.
And well, if Janus is gone, the kids, they come out to play. The monkeys are now jumping on the bed. Which bed? How will this fall? Who will take the hit? It is just Insanity. It is Bensanity in the middle. And it's just a matter of time until the Lord has been slain. And the slain was the Lord, while the red team are trying to get everything in check, trying to get most of this team fight out. If any of them fall right now, it could spell defeat. But there we go. There, right in your face with that 1-2 combo. In for the Desert Tornado, down for that stun, double kill is he. Quicksand Guard for just an additional amount of health, and your main man Uomi there finally took the hit, but enough is enough. The game has been set, and whoa, if they just took the Lord, it could have been theirs.
Yeah, and the fight continues here in the mid lane, a 3v2, but the Lord is on the side of the Happy Feet. Emperor's Rhea might be dangerous here. He flickers out to safety or dashes out to safety. Shaw burning him alive with a flame splitter, and this is still Lord surviving that ordeal. Might be able to charge down the base, but looks like he will finally go down. That's gonna be the immortality pop for Imba DJ, and he will be walking away alive.
Oh, what a burn, man is no longer the same man he was earlier. We now know that all turrets of Signal Ultra Warriors have been gone rid of. There is only one more objective on their mind. At 36 minutes in the longest game thus far, with only one more in sight, sana lang, can they get that one?
Yeah, one last objective for Happy Feet Emperors. End the base, end the game, get your first win in this best of 3. That's the last thing that they have to do, and Chi-Chi is already setting sights on that base. Meron na siyang items, meron siyang gold, meron na rin siyang galawan na kailangan niya para ma-secure ang panalo na yon. And in terms of momentum, Happy Feet Emperors have completely turned around this game. And for Signal Ultra Warriors, one team fight, they need to get that back.
Signal Ultra Warriors, they got their mains, they got their lineup. We have predicted, you guys have predicted that Happy Feet Emperors, that Signal Ultra Warriors will be going 2-0 against them. But now, may that number be flipped? Will that number be flipped? It is up to Happy Feet Embers if they can close it now. From the Sri side, it will be clamping down on them strong and hard. How hard can they go down? On Signal Ultra Warriors, it depends on initiation from Reggie. It depends on Aldrin. And it depends on the rest of their follow-up like Jay-Z and Chi-Chi. But the question and everything, still not the end. Signal Ultra Warriors can still take this.
Yeah, Signal Ultra Warriors, they are still in a position to win a team fight. Again, sobrang pantay na to. For our viewers over here, it doesn't matter if kalbong-kalbo na yung base ng Signal Ultra Warriors. Hindi rin nagmamatter kung lamang pa rin sa gold ng Signal Ultra Warriors. They all have the same amount of items. Lahat sila kompleto na yung mga build nila at nakikita nyo ito na yung mga final sapatos na lang. Bibigyan na lang ng bagong kicks yung mga tao dito and then tapos na. But in terms of core items, yung mga items na kailangan talaga nila, it's already complete. So this is anyone's fight right now. One clear team fight win, one good engage coming in from this Kufra, one good pick-off coming in from Chi-Chi's Ling. This might just seal the game for any team who finds that opportunity.
It is Janice. It is Chi-Chi. But of course, again, gotta give it to the people who have made everything possible. Rhea and Dare have been doing the best that they can. A lot more could have been said even from Imba DJ. But how they choose to respond will make it or break it. We've seen it all. How the cookie crumbles piece by piece, whether with milk, Oreo, Chips Ahoy, it all depends. The flavor of the month, the flavor of the day may be Happy Feet Emperors, but are they going to be dunking it hard, or will they choose to go for the ease in play by choosing to go for the Lord before they end the game?
Man, looks like the Lord will be the call for Happy Feet Emperors. They are already taking it down with ease as well. Actually, hindi with ease. This is just 3/4 HP for now. It just buys them a lot of time. Chi-Chi trying to find Freya. The damage is just too real. And Lancelot, he's trying to dash it out to safety. No, Benedetta rather. Will he be able to survive? Yes, he will. And looks like the 3v2 happens in the bottom side. Daya, what will happen here?
Of course, now that was a kill coming in from the shotgun. Of course, that darkness. But it seems that Signal Ultra Warriors, after noticing that their insane in the membrane, Nasi Ben Sanity was taken down, they just choose to say no, choose to back away, fight again another day. And that day today may not just be their day, but they still want to fight for it. They still want to hope and pray that they can get this Lord. It is almost down. It is almost out. It is almost down for the count. Bottom of the 9th right now. But the 9th is almost going to be making its way down to platform 3 1/4. But that quarter has already been taken and the Lord has already been slain. And now Happy Feet Emperors took their consolation prize for takeout Nasty Janos. But of course, for takeout as well is JPZ. They are both eating each other out.
Yeah, it looks like Searing Torrent will buy him the space he needs. That's a killing spree for the Akai after that slam in. And looks like Aljon will be finding another one for himself. That's a stun, and that's the damage landing. The immortality is popped, but you will not survive this 4v1 as the Ling will pick up the kill. One person left for Signal Ultra Warriors. Rhea will be the sole defender with the Cupra. Will they pull a miracle fight here? The Lord marching down. 4 people from the side of Happy Feet Emperors. They're going in for the base. The damage is just too real, and this is game 1 going to the Happy Feet Emperors.
You'd love to see it. You'd love to see it. You'd love to hear it. That word that just rung out from the announcer's mouth. Victory! And it's on the side of Happy Feet Emperors.
Yeah, Happy Feet Emperors finding their first win in this Best of 3 series. Pero tandaan natin, hindi pa tapos ang laro. Hindi pa tapos ang Best of 3 na to. It's called Best of 3 for a reason, and they have to win another game if they want to secure this series win.
Oh man, what a series it is prepping it up to be. We've seen upsets, mga kadaya. We've seen turnarounds. We've seen the impregnable, the undefeated, beaten, impregnated. We have seen these happen time and time again over the past few days from this series, from this season, as we are about to move in to the next round of this round robin. We can see it again, the milagro from these milagro men. Now, Happy Feet Emperors are still in the running with that victory.
Yeah, and for Signal Ultra Warriors, they really have to regroup. They lost that game even with a great early game. I mean, early game talaga napakaganda ng macro nila. But for Happy Feet Emperors, the moment that Signal Ultra Warriors gave away free kills, and trust me, when I say free kills, they gave away a lot of free kills. Not only did the first blood go towards the top side na pinamigay ng Signal Ultra Warriors, namigay din sila ng kills on actual team fights that they initiated themselves. So for Happy Feet Emperors, props to them. They capitalized on the mistakes of Signal Ultra Warriors and made sure that when Signal Ultra Warriors creates those mistakes, they pay the price full and may dagdag pa.
Ooh, just that additive benefit. And of course, for me, the greatest turnaround, or what started that downward spiral, why Signal Ultra Warriors was going downhill from their happy vehicle, is that during the time of the Lord, once Signal Ultra Warriors got that Lord, they just thought that they'd had it in the bag. They thought that they could just go in for the push, the almighty push, but no. Happy Feet Emperors manages to just go down the back door into the house and take down 2 base towers.
And let's look at what happened in Game 1. Meron tayong highlights of the first game between Signal Ultra Warriors and Happy Feet Emperors. And looking at what happened in the game, ang daming, kumbaga hindi naman just super action-packed, but most of these highlights are just clean plays, clean kills. And for the side of Happy Feet Emperors, though, it's more about capitalizing on the mistakes of Signal Ultra Warriors. And Signal Ultra Warriors really misplayed a lot of their rotations by mid-game. Early game, napakalinis. Pero pagpasok ng mid-game, kadalasan nagkakamali na sila.
I mean, just now looking at that, see, this is the team fights. It's all around the Lord. The Lord had a lot of screen time, should be paid by his contractors appropriately for that. But the Lord was the reason, is the razon d'atra for Happy Feet Emperors, was the reason why Happy Feet Emperors manages to get that. Because see, look at that. This team fight right now that just happened after Signal Ultra Warriors took that Lord. It was just, they thought they had it. They really thought so. But again, nabilib sila, and it was just dashed in front of their faces. Look at that Benedetta right after taking the bottom base turret.
Mm-hmm. And going towards the late game, it's something that Happy Feet Emperors have. Chi-Chi, with the superior macro calls, a lot of split pushing whenever a team fight happens. Magugulat ka na lang, yung Ling nagpo-push pa pala, and just because of the Ling's capacity to dash around back to the fight, it allows them to split push, then go back to the fight, then take the fight, and then transition it into an even bigger lead. So for Happy Feet Emperors, they really played this lane well, and I'm expecting going towards game 2, Signal Ultra Warriors, they have to adjust on this lane.
Ooh, yeah, because Janus, again, I keep mentioning these two names, Janus and Chi-Chi, but it's for good reason, because we are now in a meta where these assassins, these burst damage, these mobile heroes, because it is Mobile Legends, are the stars of the show. These are the meta picks, these are the top tier picks, these are the reason why these heroes are banned out, their participation rate is off the roof. Even, like, for example, back then, Uranus was picked 99% of the time in a season that just happened this year, and that's because he had the damage output, he had the survivability, he had the mobility. They nerfed him down right now, that's why we don't see a Uranus that much anymore. But these heroes that are picked right now, because of their mobility, because of their damage, and Chi-Chi, that lane might be their first ban coming in to the next game if they choose to win.
Yeah, but for our MVP of the game, it's gonna be Happy Feet Show, the X-Borg of this game, with a KDA of 4-1-10 and a high kill participation rate of 74%. A lot of disruption on the backside with that last Insanity, and of course a lot of damage dealt as well to a lot of enemy heroes, with 178k on the table. And in terms of damage taken, he also soaked up a lot of damage, and Show really did show up for this game for the Happy Feet Emperors.
Just look at that. That was the kill participation of an X-Borg is something to mention, because an X-Borg is just that additive damage. It is just that disruption. It is the fact that he can go in and out like the burger and just be a meal. Just take it all. And man, oh man, we may be seeing the very same results next game. Or will Signal Ultra Warriors show them what they showed to Brand April and take the win and hopefully win the series?
I mean, excited na rin ako makita yan. Pero para sa mga viewers natin, napakahabang laro na yon. This is still a best of 3 series. If you want Happy Feet Esports to close it out, make sure to support Happy Feet Esports in the comment section below. But for if Signal Ultra Warriors ka, they need to win 2 games straight, and make sure to be vocal with your support as well. Kami ang naging casters nyo para sa best of 3 na to. Magbabalik kami after this quick break. And welcome back to the National Season 2 Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Kami ulit ang magiging casters nyo para sa Game 2 of this Best of 3 series. Ako si Omi at kasama ko dito si Daya. At makikita na natin kung paano ba magre-respond ang both teams after that intense Game 1 na umabot ng 40 minutes lagpas.
Man, oh man, I know you people have been just going, it's not the time for siesta anymore. Now it's just bordering on dinner, and it seems that was the longest gap. We've confirmed that the longest game that the Nationals have ever seen, and between these two teams, what a match, and it's just a sign of the things to come.
Yeah, and tignan natin kung ganun din ba katagal ang second game natin dito, because one of the more important things to consider right now, hindi natin to dapat kino-consider kanina kasi hindi naman natin alam na ganun katagal yung magiging first game, is exhaustion. One thing, yung fatigue level ng players natin dito, because yung mentality mo, hindi minsan may mga players na after one game ng ganun katagal, medyo napapagod na yung utak nila. Yung daliri, madali i-train yan. Madali i-train ang daliri para bumilis, para lumakas, para maging flexible. May konting ganyan-ganyan mo lang everyday. Medyo masasanay na ang daliri mo na maging at least enduring in games like this. Pero yung utak talaga, yun ang napakahirap i-train na pagka tumagal yung laro, next game, refresh ka na. And kadalasan yung mga players natin, may mga ritual para maging refreshed ulit. Ano kayang mga ginagawa nila ngayon para makapag-mental reset?
I can only imagine right now, because it's like what you said, it is the mind, it is the heart. Now, after that loss, it would be hard to come back again. It would be quite difficult, because now you're in this mindset. Especially if you were in the shoes of Signal Ultra Warriors, you would know, or you would feel that the world is closing down on you. That what you thought was true, that the hopes that you had just broken apart in front of your face. that is just a surprise. That is a bomb. And now, what is just left of them is just disappointment. Just like maybe yung ex nila, like just the girls that they love broke up with them, just everything of that nature. It's the same feeling. So really do hope that Signal Ultra Warriors can just lock it into a small chest, throw away the key, leave it there, and face Happy Feet Emperors with the same confidence as if they just faced them in the first game.
Yep. And walang pahinga to dahil the only rest na makukuha mo is yung 3-minute break natin kanina at yung mismong break nila habang nag-uusap sila. Actually, di pa rin pahinga yun, Daya. Kung isipin mo, sige, napapahinga nila yung kamay nila. Pero the whole time, pustahan ngayon, pinag-uusapan na nila kung anong kailangan nilang gawin para sa Game 2. That means walang pahinga ang utak, walang pahinga ang puso. Talo, panalo, you just go on with it. And for Happy Feet Emperors, ito ibang perspective. Panalo ka nung Game 1, pero sobrang close game. Paano mo masasabi nagagana yung same strategy ng Game
2? Because this is where champions are decided. This is the test. As you can say, this is because it's a litmus test of sorts. Because, for example, you go into Game 1, you've already received coaching, you've already had a game plan, you spent the night thinking it, mulling it over, you spent these discussions and talks with your team. You come into this game with that plan in mind. This plan does not work. You see that it does not work. You see that this team, your opponent, has changed. They have adapted to you. They have adjusted to you. So now the question in your minds is that, what is our plan B? What is our plan B to Z? All the way there. And they have to pick out that file. They have to search it in them. This is what decides what pocket do I pick my heroes from. Kumbaga, because this really tests how many heroes can these players use and to what extent.
Yeah, and grabe yung point na nabanggit mo doon. Napaka-importante na alam nyo yung hero pool ng isa't isa because you can't just adjust ng biglaan if hindi rin alam gamitin ng isang player mo. Dito napapasok ang versatility ng isang professional na Mobile Legends player kung gaano ba kadami ang kaya nilang laruin na hero na alam nilang malalaro nila in a certain level of gameplay. But looks like we are finally heading over the second picking phase of the first picking phase of the second match between Signal Ultra Warriors and Happy Feet Emperors. Signal Ultra Warriors will be playing on the blue side, and on the red side it will be the Happy Feet Emperors.
Okay, so now we set it back then that Signal Ultra Warriors, they got that first pick, and the first pick, I believe, still was that Selena. They're still avoiding that Selena, and it could very well be a respect ban of sorts. But it's gonna be countered out by the Brody. Brody was also banned out by Happy Feet Emperors in the last game, and we're seeing that Betamax on repeat because we're seeing it again. But now, a brand new change, brand new experience coming out from that loss earlier, they decide to ban out the Lunox.
Yeah, the Lunox will be the second ban for Signal Ultra Warriors, which means they do not want to deal with a mage that could buy her own safety and still deal significant damage around fights. So I feel like that is a smart ban, but we're seeing almost similar bans coming in from Game 1 for both teams. We see the Brody, we see the Selena, we see the Natalia. These are the same bans na nakita natin nung Game 1, and this just goes to show that they are still basing their bans out of research from both teams.
Because now, there is no better teacher than experience. There is no better teacher than just suffering a loss, especially if it's a sad one, a harsh one. It will be ingrained in your memory. And once it has been stuck in your memory, it will be just tearing you apart. All of your team members are now thinking to each other, talking to each other. What can we do better? How can we do this better? Because as this season, this series of the National Season 2 is coming to the playoffs, bordering on that playoff stage where every win, every loss will count, they have to be as serious as they can. So now they pick out Benedetta once more for Impa DJ.
Yeah, it looks like Benedetta will be the first pick for Signal Ultra Warriors, and this is another Benedetta pickup for this Actually, no. Game 1, naka-pick up din sila ng Benedetta, but looks like Happy Feet Emperors, ano kayang ire-respond nila dito? There are a lot of power picks open for them as well.
Now, we know these picks. We know that the Ling is wide open. We know that, of course, Farsa was open, and now she has been taken. So, sorry to all the people who love Farsa out there for her thighs or her looks. But now, the question remains, they still are not locking in these marksmen. They're still not choosing to go for Yisan Shins. They're still not choosing to go for Brunos. They're instead going for, again, we see these same picks. Because if it ain't broken, why fix it? That's why we're seeing a Barats again.
Yeah, Barats really did work out for them really well from the first game. Happy Feet Emperors taking a page from what worked for them in the first game and even opening up the Farsa for them to take as well. A lot of artillery damage coming in from the Feathered Airstrike. A lot of utility with that Farsa on their side. So I'm really excited to see on how they will play that mage sa red side. And for the side of Signal Ultra Warriors, open ang Thamos and they immediately get it. Sinabayan pa nga ng Ling. So this time, ang Ling ay nasa kamay na ng Signal Ultra Warriors, hindi na nasa Happy Feet Emperors. Ano kayang kukunin na core ng Happy...
They're basically saying na, sorry HFE, taken na si Ling, but it is not the end of the story for Happy Feet Emperors. Now, Ben Sanity choosing the Thamus is especially important because now they have that survivability. They have that off lane, side lane. They have these picks. They have these, basically the toolbox, a Swiss Army knife as you would. Because this Ben Sanity can be a multitude of roles, can be ganking in, can be roaming in. And just again, can Rhea or whoever this Ling goes to, can this one be a better Ling than Happy Feet Emperors? But of course, Chi-Chi locking in that Hilda because that is one of the direct counters. That is just a foil to the Thumbs.
Your team is back.
Okay, so with that in mind, we see now both teams equally met in terms of their advantages, disadvantages, and their lineups. What is lacking, or at least for the side of Happy Feet Emperors, is the core. The core damage dealers. They have the Farsa, but that is just social distancing po. That is just distancing. That is just forgoing the map control, the map leading, the warding, and of course the mobility after the wings by wings.
Yeah, and looks like we are entering the second banning phase already of this game 2. And Happy Feet Emperors already banning out that Luyi and Valir, both great mages to get in any competitive game. And looks like the Lancelot will be the last ban for Signal Ultra Warriors, which forces the hand of Happy Feet Emperors na kumuha ng ibang assassin na available. And honestly, wala masyadong assassins na kasing tulis o kasing bilis ng isang Lancelot at Ling.
And just seeing that Lancelot taken out means that Happy Feet Emperors have less picks to choose from. Seeing the fact that a lane can be met in great opposition to the Lancelot means that Happy Feet Emperors, they may be countered it by now because as we all know, these battles, these wars, mga rakaka, mga bakbakan, it all starts in the draft phase. It all starts in the pick and ban. The mind games begin now.
Yeah. And looks like this is the final lineup for Signal Ultra Warriors. They have a Ling as their core in a great front line with the Thamos and Khalid. A lot of sustain at sinabayan pa nga ng damage na nanggagaling sa malayuan with this magic sarap dash na nagagaling dito kay Chang. Isang patak, napakasarap. And last pick dito ng Happy Feet Emperors will be the Zaman Force Master herself. And nahihirapan na akong tignan kung sino ba ang clear winners ng ating draft dito dahil looking at how they're built over here, they have their own win conditions.
Yeah, for me, si Mr. Starwax, the Zaman Force man, boy, would be just basically trying to achieve the goal of scaling into the late game. Because Harith was a beast, Halimau, his nickname, his code name back then, when he was first released, up to the point of years to come, 1 year to come, 2 years to come, because he would just scale into mid game,
Welcome to
scale into late
Mobile
game so
Legends.
fast, create disadvantage, be the main damage dealer, and this would be the reason why the Harith was such a great pick. But now Harith was nerfed over the course of years. Harith now has a mission, a goal, and that is to survive long enough and get the farm that he needs to reach the ceiling of his potential.
Yeah, and Harith does need a little bit of time to scale up by mid-game or late game. One of those heroes that definitely need some space before he's able to get the item spike that he wants. And for the Harith pick, he does have that opportunity to at least farm up early on with his spells. But alam naman natin that the real damage coming in from Harith comes in with the late game auto attack damage.
Just seeing that come in, because
5
with the
seconds
shields
till the enemy
in tow,
reaches
and
the
especially
battlefield. Smash them. All troops deployed.
this would be very important for the Harith. Let's check it out. Who could achieve their win condition? Would it be Happy Feet Emperors or Signal Ultra Warriors?
Yeah, and this tournament is under the supervision and regulation of the games and amusement pool. And looks like we will look at both sides of the map over here. Both teams still not going in for an aggressive play so far. And I just have to say that after game 1, na sobrang close game, you do not want to just put early game or throw it out in the balance by performing very aggressively.
Woo! Now, Steve, coming back from that, we see that Happy Feet Emperors, Signal Ultra Warriors, they have the scars of the last game. They bear the mark, the stigma of defeat, and all that they want to do right now is just wash it off with the cleanest, the purest, and most holy waters, and only by bathing in the bask of victory can they remove that stigma, can they remove their marks, and they hope to do so with that first blood coming in for that Benedetta after that Phantom Slash. That is just a fantastic start of this game.
Yeah, and looks like first blood going to the hands of Signal Ultra Warriors means that they will go on for more kills. Chi-Chi might be in trouble. That's the flicker out, plus the quicksand guard, Insanity surviving another day.
Live again another day. That is the mission of Happy Feet Emperors, because they have this. They have the pinata right in their midst. They have the watermelon at their feet. They may be blindfolded. They may not be sure on how they can achieve that winning blow, but they know that it's just right there. All that they can hope to do is maintain their winning lead, maintain their advantage, but it doesn't seem like Signal Ultra Warriors will be making it any easier for them, because Rhea, seeing that Show is low, Show is very low. Will he survive? Yes, he does indeed. But Rhea almost with that kill. Reggie and JPZ trying to go back in for that keep away.
And 2-0 na ang ating kill score dito. Again, Signal Ultra Warriors with the superior early game that we saw from Game 1. But alam naman na natin kung ano nangyari sa Game 1. Happy Feet Emperors, by mid-game and late game, they know how to capitalize on mistakes. So for Signal Ultra Warriors, this clean early game, they need to make sure na hindi nila susobrahan ng pagtapak. Kailangan nilang manigurado na kung gagawa sila ng additional play, ay hindi magbabackfire ito sa kanila.
And what a backfire it would be if they would have all this early game presence, all of their names out there in the rivers where they need to be, and it'll be taken away from them. But look at that! The Farsa in, stealing that turtle, that cryo turtle, enjoying a bit of the seafood on the takeaway. But the blue team, they are mad. The Ultra Warriors rampaging against the red team, getting more kills, but the Hilda after that combat ritual, and of course, the art of hunting. It seems like the combo was in, but 4-2 is the score, and Signal Ultra Warriors still have that advantage. And again, it goes back. Rewind naman tayo because we said it back then. Signal Ultra Warriors is so good on those macro plays and those even those micro plays, trying to just outset them at every opportune moment.
Yeah, and 4-2 na nga ang kill score natin dito at meron ng 1.5k gold lead ang Signal Ultra Warriors. This is very similar kung anong nangyari sa Game 1 kung saan Signal Ultra Warriors really found a lot of opportunities early game but it almost immediately backfired when they bit too much. And looks like this is another case of that. Bensanity forced to ult out the safety. Feathered airstrike won't land but looks like one more hit at hindi pa nga tatama ang mga minions na yun. The fight continues here in the Riverside.
So now JPZ might as well have a target on her head. Because JPZ has been dealing a majority of the damage. JPZ successfully scored a kill earlier, and JPZ could be the reason why Signal Ultra Warriors really can't dominate the lane. But actually stand corrected right here. JPZ in, but doesn't have the feathered airstrike just yet. While there, the Thamus already activating the Cotarant Inferno. But the Inferno burns nobody alive. Sinner nor Saint is still spared, and there will just go back to the laning phase while Bensanity and the rest are still hungry for those kills that can stampede them, that can escalate them, elevate them into the winning strats, the winning lineups, the winning comps that they can get. It is only a matter of time, but stunned is Chi-Chi. Will Chi-Chi ever escape against Bensanity? JPZ, the turtle has already been slain by the lane, but now, Magic Sarah coming in from the Imba DJ, but of course JPZ will be maintaining her distance and more kills are still racking up on the side of Signal Ultra Warriors.
Yeah, and Signal Ultra Warriors, from a good early game, they're transitioning it to objectives this time. And again, as far as gusto kong ibalikan yung Game 1, they are doing significantly great. Chi-Chi, already 0-3 and 0. This did not happen in Game 1. 0-3-0 si Chi-Chi means yung core ng Happy Feet Emperors ay hindi makakapag-scale ng mid-game or even late game if masara agad ng maaga to. And kung gaano katagal yung laro natin from Game 1, Game 2 is looking to be significantly faster and stronger for Signal Ultra Warriors.
Signal Ultra Warriors just taking everything that they can, just learning from their previous mistakes. And again, it could be the lineup. It could very well be the lineup because again, they took away heroes like the Ling. They took away heroes that would ultimately benefit them, that would ultimately just stop out whatever they were planning. Happy Feet Emperors have the Farsa. Happy Feet Emperors have the Harith, but the Harith is both the weakest link and the game or the playmaker for Happy Feet Emperors. And we see that it may be more of the earlier, the previous. It could be the weakest link if this Harith is killed time and time again. This Harith, this little boy, needs to grow up and eat healthy.
Yeah, 0-3-0 and Chi-Chi is not a good sight to see for Happy Feet Emperors. They depended on Chi-Chi last game. That link carried them hard from Game 1. And now that Chi-Chi is 0-3-0, pilay na pilay ang Happy Feet Emperors. Napakahirap nang tumayo kung yung core nyo mismo ay 0-3-0. So for Happy Feet Emperors, the remaining win condition for them is to slow down the game. Wag munang pumatol sa lahat ng binabato ng Signal Ultra Warriors. Just try to defend your lanes, try to farm up, and make sure that Chi-Chi is safe at all times.
Just protect your little boy as if you were a god, as if you were a god of war, and just protect him all the way, and that little boy can grow up to be a god of his own. But for now, this butterfly, this Mothman, is still just in its larvae, its pupae stage. They need this man to grow up, and this man needs to grow up fast because Signal Ultra Warriors knows their lineup, brings it to them straight to the face. Chi-Chi again the target, but shutting down the Benedetta. Will Bensanity be next, or will Chi-Chi manage to survive? Aldrin in for the save. They are doing the best that they can, but there is looking at him with hungry eyes, but finally falling to Imba DJ after that crescent, and of course the moon, and of course the star moon shockwave.
Man, ang ganda ng pwesto doon ni Chichi. He did get a kill. But then again, walang malakas sa tatlo, especially if you're 1 and 4. Pumasok si Chichi with a Zaman Force. Ganda ng positioning niya. Naiwasan niya yung kamatayan niya for a few seconds. Around 4 to 5 seconds, he already bought a lot of time. But when your teammates are already far across the map and you're alone, there's literally no way for you to survive that. It was the best possible scenario for Happy Feet Emperors there. They got a kill towards Chi-Chi, but Chi-Chi still had to pay the price. Now 1 and 4, they need to make sure that this had it gets gold without being turned into gold as well for the next few minutes, unless they want mid-game to be totally in the hands of Signal Ultra Warriors.
And we've seen what Signal Ultra Warriors can do once they get that mid game. Once they get that snowball, we've seen it time and time again. That ball ain't gonna stop. That is momentum in force. It is poetry in motion, and this is motion that even the best of writers can't even describe. Signal Ultra Warriors, again, just pristine, sistine in what they do. And while we go back into the game, just speaking in volumes, turn it up to 11. Signal Ultra Warriors will do that once given that window.
Yeah, and looking at what's happening right now in the game though, the minion waves are quite balanced with both teams, and the turtle is once again going to the hands of Signal Ultra Warriors, which means that in terms of turtle races, talagang lamang na sila, and that just goes to show sa kanilang gold score as well. They are nearing 23k. In fact, they are already 23k against the 18k of Happy Feet Emperors, but this is still anybody's game. If Happy Feet Emperors finds an opportunity to at least give a kill to Chi-Chi or let Chi-Chi farm, they will be able to secure a somewhat decent mid game.
Now, this is a question of just this activity. The active members of this game are Signal Ultra Warriors. The retroactive players are Happy Feet Emperors. Retroactive means that they're looking back at it, they're trying to see what they can do, and it seems that Jana's just taking it in stride. Just making that beautiful hum of his motor, revving it up all the way, going hard in, crashing into the faces of Happy Feet Emperors, and without a doubt, without a stop, breaking down the brakes and just going full ham. All the meat is in the side of Signal Ultra Warriors, and Happy Feet not doing so well. Thermometer on their mouths. This could be Signal Ultra Warriors game. Happy Feet has to make a difference now.
Yeah, and Signal Ultra Warriors, 28k right now, 8k ahead of Happy Feet Emperors. They are really just cashing in the lead that they bought for themselves early on. And right now, they are pushing mid, and Raging Sandstorm lands on 2, but they don't actually go in for the fight. They go for the turret instead, and Feathered Airstrike won't deal a lot of damage against
Lord,
Signal
resurrecting
Ultra
soon.
Warriors.
That's like the saving grace. That is like the Shangri-La. That is like the paraiso of Happy Feet Emperors. What I mean by this is that that is just what they can resort to that would save them from upcoming ganks, upcoming deletion, upcoming dominance. That JPZ Feathered Airstrike, but they can't rely on that for long. Because once JPZ is gone, the rest of them will just fall.
Yeah, and looks like a fight will happen here for the orange buff. Ben Sanity trying to contest this in front of 4 people. Pero diversion lang pala yun. And it's gonna be the Lord going to the hands of Signal Ultra Warriors. And now that they have the Lord, they have the lead. Game 2 is looking well with their play already. Baka mapunta na to sa kanila kung sakaling makakuha sila ng isa pang team fight win.
A question that people are mulling right now in their minds. Happy Feet Emperors, their team that they have been supporting so many people. They're just lauding them, applauding them. But this could be the beginning of the end, because once Signal Ultra Warriors takes this game, Happy Feet Emperors might be at the position where they can't even return. It is the point of no return, but there is still this contention, this team fight. Happy Feet Emperors trying to win it out, but this early, the base turret has already been destroyed. Stun is the team of the blue, but Al Jonathan SQT is not doing damage, is not going to be doing much. And the blue team, after that Tempest Blade, they are just shoving it hard. Look at that, enemy destroyed, the base turret is already in, and the blue team got what they came for and more.
And looks like Signal Ultra Warriors is already pushing it in 12 minutes in. Hindi to kasing tagal ng Game 1 dahil mukhang tinatapos na nila right here, right now. But a better airstrike will buy them some time. Chichi back in trouble here. He goes down to the Samus. 3v2 ang usapan dito. Then nagat na pakatadugo. Janus will get that. A double kill for the Samus. The base is next. The damage comes in. And Game 2 goes to Signal Ultra Warriors.
I just blinked. I just blinked for a second, for a few seconds. I just looked away for a few measly seconds, and just like that, Signal Ultra Warriors dominates that game, takes it, snatches away, just like thieves in the night. We see here Signal Ultra Warriors, their lovely, lovely faces up in your screen as the victors of this game. And we now have a 1-1 scenario on our hands. We now have the game decider, the match pointer. Happy Feet Emperors and Signal Ultra Warriors, who will truly come out on top.
Best of 3 series goodness right here, right now para sa mga viewers natin dito. Signal Ultra Warriors extend the best of 3 series into a third game. After a long game ng Game 1, ang Game 2 natin ay kabaliktaran. Natapos ito before even 15 minutes and napaka lakas ng pinakita ng Signal Ultra Warriors dito. Ibig sabihin lang nun na they could definitely transition their great early game into an actual win. And I feel like with the momentum riding on them, Game 3, Signal Ultra Warriors is looking to be the favored team. But for Happy Feet Emperors, we could never know. Best of 3 to, baka may tinatago pa silang strategy na hindi pa natin nakikita. Baka ang huling alas ay lumabas na para sa Happy Feet Emperors.
Oh man, right you are there, just looking in at the scores. I talked about it, we talked about this earlier, that pro teams are decided by the heroes that they can use and to what extent. There are hundreds of heroes in Mobile Legends. Some of them meta, some of them not, some of them just simply trash. But it is up to them to find gold in whatever they possess, to turn minerals into magic, to find that needle in the haystack, to be that 1 in a million and beyond. So, just like that, Signal Ultra Warriors, with a different lineup, just turned its head around.
Yeah, and
because of that, we can see that Signal Ultra Warriors may win the next game. We don't know.
Yeah, and let's see kung ano bang nangyari sa Game 2 dahil napakabilis ng laro na yon and napaka-intense na mga fights na nakita natin early game and mid-game as well. And as you see in this highlight reel, Reggie, a little bit too aggressive early on. Kaka-level 2 pa lang, but the Benedetta already got a kill towards by actually that fight with that execute as well.
Yeah, just looking at it again, see, the first turtle was scored by JPZ. But JPZ alone, again, JPZ for me was the only reason why Signal Ultra Warriors really couldn't make more aggro plays. But Signal Ultra Warriors, they didn't really mind, they didn't really care, and JPZ, with the same mindset that Happy Feet Emperors brought in the last game, Happy Feet Emperors really didn't do a lot of rotating, really didn't do the proper rotating, really didn't do the proper roaming, and this includes JPZ. JPZ wasn't a presence to be felt in the entire map, and because of that, Signal Ultra Warriors just went all ham, and that ham was the tastiest. Happened among Pasko. It could just be another game for them, another prize just to be won. Look at that, the Lord on the last push.
Yeah, and this last push is already been decided for them. The Lord Enough and the minions just going in for the turrets just gave them so much room to operate inside the base of the Happy Feet Emperors, and that gave them the signal to just go all in, even for the top side. And this exact moment, that one team fight that they started and executed well just gave them enough room to go for the game.
And it wasn't even small room. It wasn't even a huge amount of space to go and work with. They worked with what they had. It was just a minuscule opportunity. It was just flashed in front of their faces, but just like that, like gold in a pan, like in the river by the wayside, they still found that gold and they still took that game. And look at that MVP. Smug as he is, the handsome man himself, Ben Sanity, the insane in the membrane, just scoring it all. Look at his stats.
KDA 2, 1, and 6 only died once with all the daring plays na sinimulan niya, with all the raging sandstorms na pinasok niya, 3, 4, 2. That risk is always a calculated risk. At may dalawang klase ng risk yung risk na alam mong tinatapon mo yung buhay mo, o yung risk na medyo calculated, yung alam mong may backup ka, yung alam mong may tropa ka. And for this lead player, he really knew how to assess risks, and that is a mark of a true MVP. So congratulations to Signal Ultra Warriors for extending this to a best of 3 series. And for Happy Feet Emperors, kung Happy Feet Emperor fan ka, make sure to cheer on your team, Happy Feet Emperors, and tell them na kunin na ang Game 3 para sa puntos. And for Signal Ultra Warriors, just ride the momentum. Kami ang naging casters nyo. My name is Umi at kasama ko dito si Daya. Magbabalik kami para sa Game 3 in the Nationals Season 2 Mobile Legends Bang Bang. And welcome back to the National Season 2 Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Kami ulit ang magiging casters nyo for this series between Signal Ultra Warriors and Happy Feet Emperors. Ang pangalan ko ay Uomi at kasama ko dito si Daya at nasa Game 3 na tayo of this best of 3 series.
Can you imagine, folks? A Game 3 right now between these two professional teams, these two outlying teams. They may be very well at the bottom, but everyone's minds have been blown away with their performances in the last 2 games. No one will ever say that these two teams didn't do their best because they are fighting for their lives, and their lives will be put to the test yet again as we enter Game 3.
Yeah, Game 3, winner takes all. Doesn't matter of how long Game 1 took. Doesn't matter how quick Game 2 was. What matters right now is who wins Game 3. And for Signal Ultra Warriors, what they want is to continue their dominance over the Nationals. But for Happy Feet Emperors, this one win, this one singular win in this Game 3 will mean a lot not just to their team, but to their fans as well, considering na ito ang magiging una nilang panalo if ever they do secure this win. But let's go straight into the banning phase. We have Signal Ultra Warriors on the blue side and Happy Feet Emperors on the red side with Selena, Brody, and Lunox as their bans.
See, looking at this, there's really that Selena that they're afraid of. And that Selena won't be reeing her beautiful, beautiful face anytime soon. Maganda. But it seems that ang Malakas will also be banned out as well. What am I talking about? Who am I talking about? I'm talking about the Brody. And that's to join her, of course, the Benedetta. Just coming in pick after pick. Now they fully realize how much of a threat the Benedetta is. Brand Pro knows how much of a threat the Benedetta is. And now, Happy Feet Emperors, hopefully it's not too late for them. They realize just how much good of a pick it is in utility and in substance and in flow. So now they choose to ban it out, and wiser decisions are being made. So there's a harsh reality being thrown out to Signal Ultra Warriors in the first game, but an even harsher reality was just slammed into the face of Happy Feet Emperors in the last one. Happy Feet needs to get everything back right now.
Your team is picking.
Yeah, Happy Feet Emperors, this is their chance for redemption. One more win against Signal Ultra Warriors means they finally score on the table of the Nationals. But looks like Barats will be the priority pick for Signal Ultra Warriors. It has proven countless times already in this best of 3 series na tong Barats pick na to. Napakalaking tulong talaga sa team na magda-draft nito.
See, now the Barats so far wasn't really flaming. So far wasn't really the factor that decided the outcome of the two games. But he was and still is with an integral part of any lineup. Just a perfect addition. Just that perfect amount of cream to the sugar and coffee of the taste that you might find great. And so Imba DJ with that Barat gonna pair it up with what are we seeing here? Is that going to be just an outlier? Oh, but of course, Ben Sanity maybe choosing in for the Farsa. While on the side of Happy Feet Emperors, the man's got it back. They got the Ling, they got the Khalid.
Yeah, Khalid and Ling, one of the most picked heroes in this best of 3 series. And Happy Feet, they're happy to get that Ling back. Nakita natin kanina kung ano bang kayang gawin ni Chi-Chi with this Ling, and they actually got their first win with that Ling in the hands of Chi-Chi. So let's see if ganun pa rin ba ang mangyayari sa Game 3. Dahil for Game 3, may bago tayong hero na makikita. It's the Baksha locked in for Signal Ultra Warriors.
Oh, the Pusens himself. The Unity in position. Locked down now is one of the tanks that could be considered a counter to many a region, many a defensive hero. A big counter to those that prioritize lifesteal. A counter to Thamus, a counter to Uranus, but we're not seeing those heroes picked out. So what does Rhea have in mind is the question. Is this a jack-in-the-box pick, or are we seeing another strategy pulled out from the X-Files, from the files of Signal Ultra Warriors? But to counter that, in response to that, is JPZ. Maybe not going to be the one utilizing it, but that is a Natalia. So, the hunt is on.
Ling and Natalia, one of the best combos for early aggressive takes. And for Happy Feet Emperors, looks like they're going in to match the early game of Signal Ultra Warriors. In Game 1, Game 2, nakita natin kung gaano kalinis ang early game maneuvering ng Signal Ultra Warriors. If Happy Feet Emperors are able to secure breaking that early game, kumbaga kung masira nila ang early game strategies ng Signal Ultra Warriors, Happy Feet Emperors may be, just maybe, having the strategy that will pull a victory out of this match.
It's just as likely as pulling a rabbit out of the hat. You gotta believe in your skills. It is just the flick of the wrist. And their wrists are now probably worn down by the battles that they have thus faced, but still raring to go. The blood burns in their hearts. The passion is just ever flame right now. What we're seeing here are these two teams that have been tested.
And looks like Happy Feet, we are already in the second picking phase of this Game 3. Ano kayang idadagdag nila sa kanilang already aggressive composition for the side of Ling and Natalia? Sinabayan pa nga ng Khalid. They have a few seconds to secure that last pick, and I do believe that they do need a little bit of tankiness in their area. Maybe a bruiser, maybe someone who could engage or disengage in this regard.
They need a vanguard, a strong member that can be that man to just soak it all up. No need for Scotch Brite, mga kadaya. This is it. It is going to be in the form of Aljon, and Aljon brings out Thunder Thighs. Aljon brings out the muscle. Aljon brings out the prima donna, the Amazon queen, Hilda. So we're seeing that Hilda being utilized. Hilda, one of the top tier picks right now. Tankiness and damage, it is weight, power, and speed all in one beautiful package. But as we're entering the next bands, we see that they're saying no to another beautiful brown-skinned woman. That is the Esmeralda. While on the side of Happy Feet Emperors, these feet don't want to be dancing on flame, so they ban out the Thames.
And Wow, Sun Shin and Lapu Lapu will be the lock-in for Signal Ultra Warriors, and that's a lot of damage to play around with. They have Farsa, they have Lapu Lapu, and they also have Sun Shin. In terms of global knowledge, that ult coming in from Sun Shin, sinabayan pa nga ng Farsa Feathered Airstrike, it's gonna be hard for Happy Feet Emperors to maneuver freely around the map. It looks like Chang'e will be the last pick for Happy Feet Emperors. A lot of damage as well. So this isn't about tanks this time, Daya. It's not about buying time. It's about who kills who first.
And with Big Brother, see, Signal Ultra Warriors, why I say Big Brother, because they got eyes on everybody. With that Mountain Shocker, they can just shock the enemy's team. They can just provide vision when need be. They can just be that damage that needs to be dealt at a split second. They can kill when they want to. And that's what Signal Ultra Warriors needs. It could be another one of their lineups, another one of their combinations, a wombo to their combo. Can they seal this melee?
And this is already Game 3. So kung kakarating nyo pa lang at kakaluto nyo pa lang ng hapunan nyo, sana nag-enjoy kayo dahil Game 3 na tayo between Signal Ultra Warriors and Happy Feet Emperors. Both teams already showed kung anong kaya nilang gawin. Game 1, Happy Feet Emperors, the maneuvering of the Ling, Chi-Chi being one of the catalysts of Game 1, and in Game 2, the early game plan coming in from Signal Ultra Warriors, how they played their early game, how they transitioned it into an even stronger mid-game is what gave them the win in Game 2. Ano kayang magiging storya natin dito sa Game 3 as we enter the Land of Dawn? Again, if suportado mo ang teams na naglalaro dito, make sure to be vocal about it in the comment section. It's either Signal Ultra Warriors ka o Happy Feet Emperors ka. But for now, let's get it on.
5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield.
Their stories are still being told, still being written. It is not the end of this bookend yet. As these people march on, the same old song and dance is playing. The Land of the Dawn's music, and it is written in notes of blood and viscera. Are we going to be seeing more of this action coming up right now? Because this is the third game, the climax. This is it for this game. Signal Ultra Warriors, Happy Feet Emperors. Who will truly be the king?
And this is so intense to the point na first match pa lang natin ngayong gabi, nakakakaba ng tignan ko ano bang mangyayari dito sa ating Game 3. Because again, this is already winner takes all. If magkamali ka, talagang pagsisisihan mo. Wala nang tsansa para sa restback. Ang restback dito kung magkita pa ulit kayo in the Nationals.
That is the hope, but this hope may not be very well acclaimed, may not come into fruition. But what is going to be going into fruition is the fact that we can actually see that both teams are playing to their strengths, their choices, and how they played in the past. Happy Feet Emperors generally going for less aggressive plays. Happy Feet Emperors just going for opportune times, opportune moments, while Signal Ultra Warriors trying to get that dominant, trying to get those aggressive kicks in. Pump up those Reeboks because we are going in for our running match.
Man, look at the damage coming in from Lapu Lapu. JPZ didn't expect that type of damage and has to heal up with the regen. Ben Sanity looking for something inside the jungle. Still no kills around the table, but both teams are really farming well with just a 400 gold disparity.
I mean, Rhea, the king of the Queen City of the South, is of course in the Land of the Dawn with that vamp, with that buff, with the recent buffs that he has been receiving. It seems that Lapu Lapu has been a top tier pick, even being used by the likes of Bren Epro to great effect, being one of the bans that other teams choose to use against them, much like one of the games that we have seen in the past. But this game is different. Happy Feet Emperors, they are different. Did they do their research? Did they do their study properly? We will see here. The teacher will be grading them. But oh, it seems that now Detona's welcome, champion jump out, and now the backshot in for that shield unity and the spirit of that shield as the Raging Sandstorm has been activated against there. Aljon Desert Tornadoing himself out of that battlefield while there and the rest still trying to chase them out.
Man, that was a great play coming in from the Barats. Definitely took out Chang'e nang hindi niya namamalayan. And one of the factors that you have to be in there is medyo wala sa pwesto yung Chang'e. Chang'e is not a very mobile hero. Kumbaga meron siyang shield, meron siyang added movement speed, pero wala siyang dash. Kapag nahuli siya ng biglaan, kadalasan, mahirap na talagang tumakas bilang isang Chang'e.
It's hard for a little girl with those tiny legs, but as cute as she is one of the beasts coming into this late game. So let's see if Show can show us how they're gonna utilize that Chang'e. But the Moon Goddess herself with a recent movie coming in the works. The turtle would be the next target of lore, the turtle of gold, the turtle of EXP, the turtle of the shield buff that they need. Who will get this next objective? As Signal Ultra Warriors just tries their best to go to the multiple lanes, go in and out of this jungle while maintaining map presence and control.
Looks like HFE, Happy Feet Emperors, will be the one to take that turtle. Pero hindi pala pagbibigyan ng Signal Ultra Warriors dito. Dahil it looks like Aljon will go down.
Ang sarap! Yes, coming in from that Detonus, welcome, you're welcome! We'll be singing another song right here because that is the end of that team fight. The turtle has been slain, as well as the turtle of Signal Ultra Warriors slaying himself, putting that rift into great work. But Show now with a meteor shower, it is just raining high heaven and MSG onto the enemy team. Uncle Roger would be proud.
Yeah, and looking at what happened in that turtle fight, ang nakapag-secure ng turtle ay Happy Feet Emperors, pero nakakuha ng mas madaming kills ang Signal Ultra Warriors. This has been the same trend from game 1 and 2. Kung sino yung nakakakuha ng objective, kadalasan sila yung natatalo sa team fight. It's just a matter of how do you play with the objectives you get. Reggie might be in trouble here.
Oh, and now Chi-Chi, still that link, still that reason, is going to be the playmaker of this team, but Bensanity is awfully low and managed to eliminate him with the Defiance Storm, not needing for the Tempest of Blades just yet, because this is still ongoing, folks, but the going just went on, and Signal Ultra Warriors are going to be backing away from that after noticing that Bensanity, their tank, just tanked it hard. Bit too hard.
Yeah, and now that we're looking at the kill score going towards the favor of Signal Ultra Warriors kanina, nakakabawi na ang Happy Feet Emperors. That Ling has been playing well, 2-0, and looks like Reggie might be in trouble here. Feathered airstrike plus the flame shot. The regen will keep him alive.
Just barely a sliver of health. What kind of miracle does this man spin? Better be thumbing up on those Once Upon a Time, because this is gonna be his story if they just keep it going. If they just can make sure that HFE, if the Emperors can maintain their dignity, maintain their crown, maintain the position on this ice cap against these Predators, Signal Ultra Warriors, they are the gladiators, and these gladiators in the ring just managed to get the kill, as well as a kill on that lane after that amazing Traceless is he onto that double kill.
Man, Signal Ultra Warriors not only getting the turtle, but also getting a few kills on the board as well for them. This is just reflective on how they play their early game. They know their risk, they know their rotations, and frankly, they know their damage. And looks like in the mid lane, that's gonna be Feathered Airstrike. JPC trying to dodge all of them. Fancy Feet with the invisibility, but looks like the Mountain Shocker might just shock them to death. But again, a slipper of HP.
Oh man, every day they do be shocking, but it seems that this team fight is still rocking. Tempest Blade's already activated, and it seems that Chi-Chi and Reg, they have to back out, but Show and the rest there just got chomped on. That is his dinner, his supper, but it seems that Aljon and the rest will be making it out alive, but with pain only in their bones as they try to back people like they're away. Shoot there, shoot.
Yeah, and 6-2 na ang kill score natin dito. 7 minutes in. Mas mabilis pa rin naman ang pacing kaysa ng game 1, but looks like Bensanity might be in trouble here. Aljon, nagaanap dito ng dugo at hindi magkakatuluyan ang laban dito. At speaking hindi magkakatuluyan na nga ba, medyo naglalandian lang pala dito sa may purple mo.
Mwah! Mwah! Just a little bit of a greeting. Hi, hello, mga sir. Because this ain't no time for greetings, folks. This ain't no time for that. Because it seems that they're done with the honeymoon phase. They are now just grinding it out, trying to survive. Aljon and the rest, Happy Feet Emperors. We are seeing a different Happy Feet Emperors from the Emperors that we knew from the first game. But these kings, these chiefs, this man, these men may turn this around, but at this point, it is just a relapse back to the same drought.
Yeah. 8 minutes in, BOD for Janus. This is massive for the Gixun Shin if they ever do decide to take on a 5v5 full-on skirmish. This Gixun Shin will deal a lot of damage. Mukbang ka muna, balik dito sa push, and that's gonna be a kill. Easy kill pa nga dito para sa Signal Ultra Warriors.
ASMR in Mobile Legends. Bang Bang next. That is how they be doing it. No need for the TikTok, no need for the YouTube, because this is how Signal Ultra Warriors plays it. They play to no man, they play to a crowd, and they just keep the audience roaring. If we were in front of a live crowd right now, these people would be mad screaming at the plays that Signal Ultra Warrior just made. And look at that, Raging Sandstorm is for the escape. Look at that man go. Signal Ultra Warriors hate sand. It's irritating and it gets everywhere. They'd want him gone.
And in the top side, butas na ang top lane ng Happy Feet Emperors and things are not looking great para sa mga Penguin Boys natin dito. Happy Feet Emperors, 9 minutes in, wala na silang top lane and things are looking bad not only gold-wise but also score-wise as well. 0-2-0 on their main tank. The Ling na kanina 2-0, nakabawi na nga sa deaths. 2-2 na siya ngayon. And for Happy Feet Emperors, the power spikes coming in from Signal Ultra Warriors might just be too much to take for now.
Signal Ultra Warriors is playing to the same degree that they played during their fight against Bren ePro. The reason why they managed to get a 2-1 is because they have these outplays, these plays that can just immediately know what to do. They are like landmines. One false step into the wrong spot and boom, you're dead. And once you're dead, you're gone. And if they continue staying dead, at the score it is right now, look at that, almost a 10k gold lead. They are just digging their own graves if Happy Feet Emperors doesn't take a risk. A risk must be made. A gamble must be done. The dice must be thrown now.
Yeah, and Reggie here, a little bit too overextended away from his team. And a 2-man squad coming in from Happy Feet Emperors will be stuck in the top side while the Lord is already being taken by Signal Ultra Warriors. If this backfires for Signal Ultra Warriors, this might be the chance that Emperors need.
It only comes 1 in a million, folks. This is and should have been. It could have been, but it can still be the first victory that Happy Feet Emperors would ever score from this league, from this series, from the National Season 2. But Signal Ultra Warriors will not even give them that kind of day. They know not the meaning of mercy, and mercy shall not be granted upon the beggars. So, this means that Happy Feet Emperors needs to put it up a notch. With the Lord already slain, they don't want a repeat of the last game. In the last game, once the Lord was already in their face, once already in their face was just slammed down hard by that 10-ton mallet. Will the same weight be applied? We shall see right here, as this is a team fight of the ages, as the Feathered Airstrike already activated, and it seems like the damage coming into the rest of the team, and it doesn't even seem like the point of the game is the enemy team, because it's just the towers, and now it's just the Crystal. Look at this man go. Look at their health bars fall. And look at the damage coming in from Janus as the blood flows to blood. Oh, and there we go. The game.
Going to Signal Ultra Warriors just means that they deny Happy Feet Emperors from their first win in the National Season 2. And I just have to say, Signal Ultra Warriors, the mini reverse sweep has been there all along for them. Download game nga lang ba ang game 1?
Oh man, Signal just sending that signal ultra clear, crystalline. That couldn't have been done any better. It could have even been said that the first game was a throwaway because the real kings this time, Signal Ultra Warriors, gotta give them mad props. But of course, congratulations as well to the Emperors. What a game, what a show. You broke our expectations with that 1-2 on your score.
And for the Nationals Season 2 Mobile Legends Bang Bang Day 8, this is just the first match. May second match pa tayo for today, which is Bren Epro versus LP Eagles. And this is actually one of the matches na inaantay ng mga tao ngayong gabi. Pero bago natin isara ang chapter na to sa first match natin of this night, let's look at the stats from Game 3 between Signal Ultra Warriors and Happy Feet Emperors. Kung nakikita nyo dito sa ating mga viewers over here, grabe ang laruan na pinakita ng Signal Ultra Warriors dito. Ni isang beses hindi namatay ang Barats at ang Farsa.
If you ever talked about playing with your food, this is it. Mommy, don't tell me that is what Dare did to Dunn. And what I mean by that was Dare and the rest of his team just played it so well. Now, the presence of the Farsa, as well as the presence of the Barats, and not even to mention the fact of the Yisun Shin, it was just the ultimate method in terms of social distancing, because they managed to keep them away so much that the red team, that Happy Feet Emperors, just didn't know how to proceed.
Yeah. And paano nga ba nag-proceed ang Signal Ultra Warriors in this Game 3? How did they get those skills? How did they get those objectives? Tingnan natin dito sa highlights of Game 3 between Signal Ultra Warriors and Happy Feet Emperors. If we take a look back a few minutes, the first blood actually goes to the hands of Signal Ultra Warriors. That Chang'e severely mispositioned. And the Barats, as you said, a lot of annoyance factor here, spitting out targets for the Farsa to just decimate with that feathered airstrike.
See, it's now just handing them a silver platter. The enemy's heads mounted toe for toe, head for head, and just maybe their spine showing from their vertebrae. It seems that Happy Feet at the very beginning may not have been as big as their first game. So they were just a dwarf coming in. They used to be Goliath, but now Goliath was just reduced after one hit from the head. That hit was the second game, and the third game was just that final sword strike. Looking at this, look at that. The final push, it has ended the same way in the second game. It ends the same at the third game. They only needed one Lord. One Lord is all they needed.
Yeah, and now that the crystal is down, this actually signals the victory of Signal Ultra Warriors, and the MVP of the game is there, with the Barats securing not only the first blood but the blood of many others with this Barats. And of course, hindi lang siya basta-basta pumapatay o kumakatay ng mga kalaban. Siya ang nagbibigay ng pera sa mga kampi niya with 6 assists and 0 deaths. The efficiency is off the sheets. Hero damage 15,000, and of course, damage taken 46k, a lot of damage absorbed by this Barats.
Just the man of the power hour. We are reaching into the evening, into the night, but into the night, this man soars in victory with his head held high. There, a king, a true chief. We've seen him time and time again. In Game 1, there was one of those men that you could watch. Game 2, he was still that man that made those outplays, those plays that led his team into victory. And Game 3, the MVP rightly deserved. Looking back at the results, we see it now 2-1 Signal Ultra with that righteous, totally tubular victory.
At kung nakikita nyo sa right side of your screen, it's going to be Bren Epro versus LP Eagles on our next match for tonight. And the updated group stage team standings are flashed as well on your screen. And makikita natin that Happy Feet Emperors are still underneath the rankings of everyone in the National Season 2 for Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Bren Epro and LP Eagles, I'm excited to see on how they're gonna play the next match. That will determine on how they will go on in this ladder.
These teams that used to be on the top, these teams that used to be at the bottom, their positions may change in just a few games. In just one game, it can change your life. So take it as hard as you can. Once you grab it, never let go. This is the belief that these teams should have when proceeding in the tournament.
Yeah. And this has been the National Season 2 Mobile Legends Bang Bang Day 8 first match. May second match pa tayo between Bren E Pro and LPE Eagles. Abangan nyo yan dahil magbabalik kami after a quick break.